Thank you, Rafael. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Paterson Municipal Council, I welcome you to the workshop section on June 12, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. The meeting is now called to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Council President.
Yeah, we do. We know we have. Uring is here.
Councilman.
Yeah. Council.
Ready?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Okay. Roll call for the workshop session of June 12, 2025. Councilwoman Cotton, Councilwoman Davila, Councilman Jackson, Councilman Kalik,
Present, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Mims, Councilman Omar,
Present, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Udin,
I'm here, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Velez.
Welcome, President, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Council President.
Present, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Council President. We have 5 present and 4 absent at this time.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Can you please read the statement of compliance?
Yes. Statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law 2024 through 2025. Meeting date June 12, 2025. The time is 6:45 p.m. Adequate notice of this meeting was compiled and disseminated in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law in the following manner. 1, the annual notice of regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council was compiled for the year 2024 through 2025 on or about July 1st, 2024. 2, a schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2024 through 2025 was duly transmitted on or about July 1st, 2024 to the North Jersey Herald News, The Record, The Arabic Voice, The Italian Voice, the Passaic County Post, Dominicano News, La Quisqueya International, El Especial, the Paterson Press, the City Post News, Tap Into Paterson, the Weekly Bangla Patrika, in addition to any other publication duly requesting such notices. 3, the schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2024 through 2025 was prominently posted in the lobby of City Hall first floor in the place reserved for the announcements of this type. 4, the schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2024-2025 was duly filed with the Municipal Clerk. And 5, a copy of the schedule of regular meetings of the Municipal Council was mailed to any person who requested and paid the fee authorized by the Open Public Records Act. Council President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Before we start with payment of bills, so we have 2 presentations. For now, we have a presentation from Councilman Foriudin. Councilman.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, Paterson. Paterson, I'm here to proudly introduce you with the advocacy group working to reduce youth access to vapes in our communities. And the organization is called Community Organizing for Prevention and Empowerment, COPE, a Montclair State University initiative collaborating with partnership organization as a broader coalition. One of the key partners is Too Small to Start program, part of Too Smart to Start, that's true, and part of Sankofa Leadership Academy led by Rahim Smallwood. Is another important partnership with my Spring 2025 interns group. So thank you for that. Thank you. And they are here to share their lived experiences, work, and recommendation. I would like to present this youth. They are telling the stories of their own experiences. And I'd like to present you here with that group. So I'd like to warmly welcome them to present the perspective they want to bring to the light. And I want everyone to please give a round of applause for these young stars.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Council. My name is Basir Gillespie. I'm 18 years old, and I attend Eastside High School, Paterson, New Jersey. The mic's not on?
Yeah, mic is on. Rafael, can you just
Yes, not that.
check the mic on the podium? Rafael? Okay. You good? You can speak now. Check it.
Testing.
Taking an email.
Working? Hello? Okay.
You need
Yeah,
paperwork.
speak a little close to the mic. That way.
Hello?
Yeah,
Okay,
perfect.
that's good. All
there
right,
you
all
go.
Good evening, Council. My name is Basir Gillespie. I'm 18 years old, and I attend Eastside High School, Paterson, New Jersey. Today, I'm speaking to you as a Patersonian and on behalf of Paterson Prevention Project and the Voice and Choice Youth Coalition housed in the Substance and Sexual Health Lab under Yale University. And I also will be representing Sankofa. I'm also joined by the youth and community supporters. Today, I want to talk about something that's affecting my generation, vaping. The problem is the lack of positive outlets for teens in our community. Where I'm from, we've seen places that used to bring us together, like a movie theater, be shut down. Meanwhile, more vaping shops are popping up left and right. And when safe and fun things for teens to do are disappearing, we're left with fewer options and more exposure to harmful influences. It feels like our culture is being replaced by habits that not only hurt us physically, but also weaken our sense of community. There should be a law passed that requires vape shops to be located at least 200 feet away from schools. We need action. We need more spaces. We need more spaces where teens can connect, have fun, and feel included without risking their health. It's time to recognize these problems, speak up, push for better opportunities in our communities, and for ourselves and for the generations that will come after us. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Daniel Henry. I'm 17 years old, and I go to Passaic County Technical Institute. Every day, going to and leaving school on the bus, we pass by a smoke shop that I didn't even realize was there until recently. Vaping is often advertised as cool or safe, but the truth is far from that. Many young people think it's just flavored air, but they don't realize the long-term health risks and effects they're exposing themselves to. Did you know that 1 in 4 Paterson youth vaped in the past month? The more we normalize it, the more we risk losing a generation to addiction that could have been prevented. That's why it's so important to raise awareness and start real conversations. As teens, we deserve better than to be exposed to harmful vapes in places meant to serve our community. Thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Anthony Mathewson and I attend Buds. I'm 14 years old and I go to Memorial Middle School. Today, I want to start by telling you something simple. It takes me almost an hour to get to the library to do a project, but I can find a smoke shop within a block of my house or school. It's easier for me to find a smoke shop than a park. It's easier for me to buy a vape than to find a safe place to study. And you pretend like the laws are working, but you don't see my friends, classmates hooked on this stuff. I see people my age walking out of smoke shops with vapes in their pockets more than I see kids with books. They shut down the lockers in my school because of kids smoking weed and vaping. But in our community, shops sell minor to minors, and no one shuts them down or holds them accountable for enforces the law. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Jalila Kroom. I'm 17 years old and I go to Rosa Parks High School. I stand with you today to paint you a picture. A 6th grader is trying to focus on her education, just like any other kid. One day, she asks to use the bathroom. She walks down the hall and finds a stall. Suddenly, a hand appears under the door, a vaping hand, and without word, it's offered to her. Feeling trapped in the thick, heavy silence, unsure how to say no, she reluctantly takes it. One hit. Fast forward to 8th grade, she can't make it through a few hours without that feeling, that clawing feeling for nicotine. Who was that 6th grader? That was me, not too long ago. So, please tell me, how is that fair? How is it fair that back then and even today, I and youth with similar stories can't even walk into a bathroom at school, somewhere I need to be 7 hours, 5 days a week, without being jeopardized by vape companies pushing their products onto kids like me? How is it fair that stores a block over from my school can sell flavored vapes that are illegal in New Jersey? How is it fair that you have the power to protect us yet do nothing?
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Jared Barnes. I'm a veteran and graduate of Rosa Parks High School, Fine and Performing Arts. I joined the military at 16 to protect my country and to help make it a better place, a safer place, and a place that's safe for my community. However, when I came out after serving about 4 years and a half, I was shocked before I left. Juuls and vapes were on the uprise. Juuls were in high school, community centers, teen centers, and places of that nature. Now that I came back, it's clear that things have gotten worse. Vaping is everywhere. It's not just Juuls anymore. It's a disposable vape in flashy colors with sweet flavors made to entice children and youth like kids from my group and kids in this hall. It's hard to be proud of a place we're from when gentrification grows and vape stores pride on the youth of my community. When they're going to school, going to church, and even going to the only library we have in the city of Paterson. It's hard to be proud of somewhere and want to fight for a place that doesn't make choices based on the youth. So, in conclusion, I challenge you to help us fight. I challenge you to be on the right side of things, and I challenge you to do the right thing.
Dear Paterson Councilman, my name is Lisbeth Garcia, and I am a resident of Paterson and a Youth Advisory Board member with the Paterson Prevention Project, housed in the Substances and Sexual Health Lab under Yale University. I am joined today by a group of teens in the audience and over live stream in support of change. I am deeply concerned about the rise of vaping amongst our youth. I'm writing in strong support of vape zoning laws because I have personally witnessed just how accessible vaping products have become to our children in our city, even those as young as elementary school students. This not only increases youth exposure, but also discourages new business investment and can reduce property values near schools and residential areas. This is not just a public health issue, it's an economic and community issue that urgently needs to be addressed. My little cousin, a student at Roberto Clemente Elementary School, has told me she regularly sees older students vaping, not just on the streets, but right in and around school grounds. It's shocking and heartbreaking to know that this is something kids are being exposed to before they're even teenagers. The fact that vaping has reached K-8 schools clearly shows how easy it is for youth to access these harmful products. There are simply too many smoke shops and convenience stores with no restrictions near our schools and parks. A bill would help reduce youth access by creating a protective buffer around these vulnerable areas. It's a small step that can make a major impact. I ask you to not only consider the health implications, but also the message we send when we allow harmful products to be sold so freely in our neighborhoods. We owe it to our children to give them a community where they aren't constantly exposed to addictive substances disguised in bright packaging and fruity flavors. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Council. How are you doing today?
Very good.
First off, I want to thank this group for their testimonies and highlighting the importance of not having vapes in the city. My name is Leitania Burgos. I am Councilman at Large 40 Udin 8, and today I'm presenting the Councilman's interns of 2025, who will bring you a couple of solutions on how this problem can be fixed. But before that, I want to play this video of a 8th grader that came to you guys a couple of days ago.
The- Co- Corporation. I'll talk to Corporation Counsel.
Can't show a child without getting permission.
Permission from the mom.
Do we have permission? Council President, just
Sure.
point of order.
Councilman Mims.
Before we show the video, and I'm not sure what's on it, I don't know if the parent of that child is present, but we have to make sure that the parent approves, they give consent. We cannot show a video of any children without parental consent, whether it's written or it's verbal. We have to make sure. I just don't want the city to be in any type of liable issues or this council. I think what you're doing is great, and I'll speak to it afterwards, but I just want to make sure. I know the mom is always here, but I don't see her in the room. Is your mom here? Okay, can you, before we play it, her mom is here, so if we could get her mom's consent to show that child on the microphone, then we'll do that. And if you have other speakers before that, before this happens, we can do that too. But sorry to intervene, Council President, but I'm an educator in the public schools, and I want to make sure that we are covered and that parent is covered. Thank you.
All right.
Duly noticed. I believe that their mom is here already.
Thank you.
Councilman Udine.
Thank you, Council President. So I'd like to clear that all the presenters here came here with the permission of their guardians, and all the coalition group working, training them with the consent of their guardians. And they are here to make sure that they are sharing their experiences and the way they want the changes in our ordinances or introduce a new ordinance. Their parents exactly the same way want this one for our city. So again, I'd like to move forward with, but if possible, to play the video. If not, I think we should move forward.
Council President,
without
that's
this.
fine, but
the mom is here.
The mom is here. If you'll come,
Okay.
we're not talking about their interns. We know they're intern and serve you. But mom, can you come to the microphone?
And
Because there's a video when
Yeah.
it's a video that is publicly displayed. We as educators are fully aware that you got to consent. The mom gives consent, then we're going to play it. If she does not give that consent, this council is liable and the city is too. I know mom is probably fine. I know mom very well. But mom, if you would like to let us see your child on the video, then we're okay with that. Sure.
and the other
Just state it on the microphone.
Council President.
I consent.
Okay. Thank
Council
you.
President, before that, Councilwoman Mims brought and we're not against whatever is presented here, but we want to make sure, is only your child in that video, or is a different child that are not here? So that's the problem.
Yep, that's the only child.
That's the problem, because this is what she's trying to say is, we agree that the parent knows that you guys are here. What we don't know is who's the child coming there that the parents are not here, and if you have a consent to show the face of that child.
Councilman Velez?
Sure. Thank you, Councilman Velez.
Yes.
Councilman Udine.
Understand the concern.
Just a minute.
But just to mention that was a public video that was released live.
Thank you, video.
So that was already out.
Got it.
But let's just move forward.
Give us a minute. Councilman
Yeah,
Udine.
Adriana Herrera already made it clear there's already public video.
Yes, sir.
And again, one more thing I'd like to state here, that all the consent that needed to be done was done by this organization already. I don't think council members has a right to ask for the consent from the parents here, but all the organization involved to it, they got the consent from all the kids involved to it, just for clarification.
Council President,
Councilman
for me,
Mims.
let me just be clear to the public. For me, I'm happy that you brought this forward, and I'm going to speak to it afterwards. We're already working on legislation. It is about to come forward before the council. It's been in committee work. We've been making sure there are regulations and penalties attached. I'll talk to that later. This is a great thing that you've come forward, because maybe there's some stuff you bring up. We'll add it to the ordinance that's already being worked on. But for me, I'm grateful, as Mr. Smallwood knows and Mr. Wilson knows, I work heavily with Umoja and Sankofa all the time. So I want to make sure this council and the city is covered. I'm grateful this is happening.
Thank you, Councilman
Now we can
Mims.
see
Duly
the
noted.
video.
Councilman Udine, it's only one person, or we move it on? Okay. Well, we can.
Summarize it real quick. I think there's some audio issues, so just to summarize real quick, this is actually from a city council meeting in a public forum, so I appreciate the concerns about liability. But she's simply just stating about there's all these vapes that are around her community that her little sibling is literally picking them up and using them, and that we need to zone them away from residential areas.
We know, that's Linda Moore. That's Linda Moore.
Hello. Good evening, members of the Paterson City Council. My name is Dre Scott, and I'm from the city of Paterson. I'm also an incoming freshman at Rutgers, New Brunswick. Today, I'm speaking to you as a Patersonian and on behalf of the Paterson Prevention Project, which is housed in the Substance and Sexual Health Lab under Yale University. We also have community and youth representatives in the audience and live streaming this meeting in support. I came here to support the creation of zoning and licensing laws for vape and tobacco businesses. From my time in high school, I can attest to the impact that these products have, as many of my peers have used them. And with that comes a sad truth. If it wasn't for the close proximity of those products, many of them would have never used them. According to a study conducted by the NIH, around 43% of teens ranging from ages 15 through 20 obtain vapes from local retailers. Last year, when I was on the bus, I overheard a sophomore girl talking about her plan to buy a weed pen from the local vape shop around the corner from our bus stop. She came prepared, even bringing a purse and saying, and I quote, "I know how to act grown." She knew that they didn't check IDs, and that stuck with me. The fact that she was underage, confident, and completely aware of how easy it would be to get access to something so harmful, it really opened my eyes to the world we are living in, one where that sort of thing is not just possible, but common. Now, with kids being out for summer break, consider how that 43% is likely to grow. There are over 20 dedicated vape and tobacco shops here in Paterson. Even just a quick drive can reveal them being lined up back to back, one next to a food spot, another next to a church. But that number does not even include the countless convenience stores that also hold these products, many of which being located near schools and parks. It's no longer a question of if kids will use them, but a matter of when they do. And as such, we must recognize the predatory nature of these businesses for setting up shop with teen-heavy foot traffic. This is why regulating who and where these products can be sold to is extremely important. Additionally, studies have also shown that smoking of any kind can affect one's mental health, attention span, and academic performance. As a district trying to improve student outcomes, this added barrier only makes it harder to do that. I speak all of this with the kids of Paterson in mind. Please, for their sake, make a decision that will allow for them to continue to run, bike, and play sports outside without the exposure of smoking cutting their childhood short. Thank you, and if you have any more questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Thank you.
I just want to make a quick correction about the previous video. I said sibling, it was actually a neighbor. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Vanessa Bruzon. I am from the 4th Ward and also a program coordinator at the Boys and Girls Club of Paterson and Passaic. The issue I have today pertains to the smoke shops that are located in the same block as some schools and even in the same block as the church that I go to every day. I honestly think that it's a miracle that more kids are not even vaping today. Montclair State has conducted research indicated that most businesses in the city of Paterson are selling flavored vapes even though they are banned. The youth in the city is drowning. From vapes hindering their academic success, we have generated ideas for solutions, but we desperately need your help. To address this issue, we must first look into the city's master plan from 2014, which is intended to guide and inform decisions the council makes. While reviewing the master plan, we noticed how it points out that the need for public safety and reducing harmful businesses near homes in order to make the streets of Paterson safer and cleaner. Now I have a question for you guys. How many smoke shops do you think are throughout the Paterson or even in your own ward?
A lot.
Can you take an estimate, a guess?
Possibly 300 or more.
Or more.
Okay, great. Even though we know some of the numbers, it's still not an exact numbers. And if we don't have exact numbers, how are we supposed to address the situation at hand?
Good afternoon. My name is Sakib Ahmed. I am 16 years old and I live in the second ward. We all agree that the number is higher than we would like. We see them in our streets. We see them in our stores, not just smoke shops. We see them next to our churches. That's Calvary Baptist Church, which is the oldest black Baptist church in Paterson. We see them on our way to school that is right next to Eastside High School. And they're all over the ground and in parks for our siblings to find and play with, as mentioned in the video.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity.
Close to the mic.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to be here today. My name is Maya Champion. I'm 20 years old, and I live in the 3rd Ward. I go to Montclair State University. I would like to start with the topic of licensing. The truth is, we can't keep track of how many vapes are being sold. While we are not trying to ban vapes, it is a fact that we cannot get away from their influence. I'm sure most of us in this room can think of a teen or know a teen whose mind is more fixated on when they can get their next vape cartridge rather than worrying about their summer plans or maybe graduation. And so this next part shocked us. You don't need a license to sell vapes in Paterson. However, I own a dog and I love it, but I need a license in order to show proof that I am its owner. I have friends that want to go to cosmetology school and need to get licensed just to cut hair or do nails, even though it's less of a health risk to cut hair or do nails. But anyone can walk into our city and sell vapes without asking or telling anyone. It doesn't make much sense. We know vapes pose risks to our health, pollute the environment, and target kids with flavors. Licensing would help us track who's selling, hold people accountable, and match the goals of the city's master plan. For zoning, we need less vapes around us. We can also agree that the dense nature makes the access of vapes even more abundant, and that we need less of them around our community. The city is only 8 square miles, but has almost 160,000 people. This means that things are more crammed, and limited space means inevitable things will overlap that are unintended. Because vapes are relatively new, they have grown unchecked, and that is why zoning laws are important. But licensing is only the beginning. We learned that zoning laws, which come with licenses, help decide where businesses can operate. Here's what we found. Liquor stores must be at least 200 feet away from any school, church, playground, hospital, or library. Tattoo studios can only be 1 tattoo studio per 75,000 residents is allowed, and they must be at least 1,000 feet away. Cannabis business, marijuana must be at least 300 feet away. We were surprised to see such zoning rules for tattoo studios. Tattoos may be controversial to some, but they do not cause physical harm. Vapes, on the other hand, definitely do. They can damage our lungs, get us addicted, and are littered everywhere, yet no zoning laws are for vape shops. Actual cannabis dispensaries have to be 300 feet walking distance from any school, churches, and homes. Without zoning laws, there's nothing stopping these smoke shops from selling illegal flavored vapes and even marijuana right next to where we learn and hang out. Paterson should protect us from vapes like they do with alcohol and tattoos. Don't we deserve safe spaces too, just like everyone else in New Jersey? Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Good.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mia Alvarez. I'm 16 and I live in the 2nd Ward, and I go to Eastern Christian High School. Obviously, licensing and zoning alone isn't enough. Currently speaking, inspections of vape shops don't really happen in Paterson, so it's no wonder why unapproved and unregulated vapes continue to flood our neighborhoods. This alone explains why kids are purchasing and using vapes. We are constantly surrounded by these temptations on a day-to-day basis, so it makes it hard for a kid not to cave in. That is why we need regular inspections, not just to protect kids, but also to make things fair for the stores that actually follow the law, which, if you think about it, actually helps the law, because law-abiding business owners, it'll help law-abiding business owners because it prevents others from cheating and breaking the law to make a quick buck off flavored vapes. Little known fact, but flavored vapes have actually been banned in New Jersey since 2019 because they mainly target the youth, us, as a way to get us addicted faster. But did you know that those same flavored vapes still thrive in Paterson? Maybe because no one is checking on them. I have friends who have been tempted by these products before and cannot stop biting the latest flavor on the market. And it's sad seeing them waste their time and money on something that will only ruin their lives. Even worse, it's outsiders that come into our city and open smoke shops to sell illegal flavored vapes right next to schools and parks. This isn't a coincidence. They deliberately know where to set up locations and no one steps in. But we have a solution. An annual license fee of $1,200 could fully fund regular inspections and enforcement with no tax hikes. This is fundamental because any inspection or enforcement program needs funding, and usually extra funding means increased taxes or taking money away from other programs. But annual licensing fees can be used to fund everything without raising taxes, considering that taxes are a huge issue for the city right now. This solution allows for inspections and enforcements to be prioritized and occur regularly to stop the flow of illegal vapes products in our city. It's a win-win situation because it would mean safer streets for us kids and fair rules for honest businesses. Without inspections, the problem will only get worse from here. Some shops already feel bold enough to sell illegal marijuana and other products because they know they'll get away with it. Many of these products come from unknown places and can be incredibly dangerous. So I ask you, council, do you know if it's just nicotine or just marijuana being sold, or how many kids can get sick or hurt from using these vapes? You probably don't know the answer to my questions, do you? But we've heard stories of teens using vapes and ending up in the hospital. Some even had scary things happen, like psychosis. But we don't always know what's in these vapes, but we do know that kids are getting them right here in Paterson. This highlights a huge liability and public safety risk that reflects the dire need for enforcement in Paterson. Mind you, the city has already been warned about this issue before, which means if anything bad happens to a kid with vapes, the city will be in even more trouble. Thank you.
Okay. That's why we asked for the following: license to sell nicotine, a $1,200 license fee. Let us monitor who's selling, what's being sold, and use those funds for compliance check. No extra tax dollar needed. Zoning and access limits, then vapes and tobacco sales near schools, parks, and churches limits how many retailers operate in youth zones. Stronger enforcements. Stop illegal flavored vapes. Flavored vapes are banned but are still being sold. We need annual surprise inspection, tougher penalties, and license seizures to protect our neighborhoods. Paterson kids deserve to feel safe and protected. We want to walk to school, hang out in park, or buy things without constantly being tempered by these dangerous products. Also, I remember that Cope from Montclair State University mentioned having policy language examples to the council over a year ago. Have any of you considered that? Councilwoman Dr. Lisa Mims thank you. We would really appreciate understanding what the next steps are. And we as youth, how can we help move this city forward with the help from the city council? We are not asking for the impossible. We are asking you to protect our futures. Thank you, council members.
Council President. Council
Let's
President.
put our hands together for a Paterson Public School student. We could do a little better. We do better. Could do better. Thank you. Thank you. It was a great presentation. We really want to thank you. I know I have two council members that want to speak. Councilman Friudin, right after Councilwoman at-large, Dr. Lily Simmons.
Thank you.
Right
Thank you, Council President.
Councilmember Les.
Thank you, Council President. Thank you very much. Thank you to all our community's children. who just not shared the experiences and the problems, but also presented the possible solutions of the problems. And I would like to thank all the parents, guardians, and all the organizations that contributed to this presentation. And I'd like to state here before my other council colleagues speak about it, we brought this topic about a year ago with the presentation of Partnership for Success by Ms. Adriana Herrera and John Sau here in this chamber. And Adriana, were in the sample ordinance, showed that if we adopt this ordinance, we are not going to just bring the solution. We can hire people to address these codes, and still city can make revenue out of this ordinance. And today we are here to make sure that hear your first-hand experiences for our children. It's not time to just sit down on delaying on the topic, but also take immediate action on it. These children share their own experiences. And I believe that after today's presentation, the council members, lawmakers, including myself, will come up with the ordinance and can bring the solution that our children is crying for. Thank you so very much, everyone. Great job.
Thank you, Councilman Freuding. Councilwoman Lilissa Mims.
Thank you, Council President. So first, let me say congratulations to all of our youth and our future and our present that have come to do their presentation on tonight. Let me make it known, in our Health and Human Services, while the sponsor, she's not in tonight, she's sick, so we are already working on legislation in regards to vaping, putting in a lot of the things that you've already stated on tonight. We've been working in the Health and Human Services Committee. He will speak to that when he comes back. He is the chair. A lot of legwork goes into putting these ordinances together. Or I'll say for the young people, as you're learning, we're trying to put a law in place, because even though you see the smoke shops that are up around the city, and there's a lot. I work in one of the schools myself, and this is a very serious concern that minors can go in there. Some of the vapes are laced with THC and so many other things. It should not be happening. So we have to make sure that there is legislation in place so it can be enforced by our police department, our inspectors, so forth and so on. So it was sponsored by our councilwoman who's not in tonight, and then it's being worked on in committee. Our chair is getting ready to come. So I want you to know that it's not that nothing is happening and no one's doing anything. We're working on it so that when we do it, that it will be enforced and that there will be tickets. Because what we have to do for the ones that are in place, we have to put a system in place for those that are already here. They didn't get approved by this council. They rented a space and they just opened. So we got to put in some regulations and specs to make sure that we regulate what's here, and then we put a stop to what may come or what may happen. So any one of you, Councilwoman Davil's not here tonight, but it is already being worked on, and I'm going to send it to our chair of the committee so that you will know that what I'm saying is an actual fact. It's being worked on already. We're grateful, and I also want to make a request. I saw the presentation. If you can have that presentation sent to all the council members, that would be great. If we can all get the presentation so that we can see maybe there's something that you've recommended or requested, we can add it to the item that's already being worked on. But everything that's done goes through committee first, then it comes to the council for approval. But it's been worked on, and the chair will speak to that. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilwoman Mims.
I just want to say one thing.
Councilman Avey.
So I just want to add on what Councilwoman Mims said. She is right. I, as the chair of the Department of Health and Human Services, legal is working on amending the established license for the smoke and vape shops, and also all the establishments that are selling these products. So we have been working on this. I just want to add that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Councilmember Last.
Thank you, Council President. I don't know if Dr. Silva is back there from CASA. I saw him back there. De Silva from CASA is here, right? Oh, he left? Yeah. No. Yes, correct. So let me bring some information. It's good that you address the council with all this beautiful information that we already know, that we are working on it. To give a little bit highlight, when the state approved cannabis as recreational in the state of New Jersey, we banned all the licenses for cannabis. The mayor vetoed that, and then we had to meet in the middle to make sure they don't get out of control. The Arabic, the Muslim community came here, they expressed themselves, and then we did what we had to do. So we didn't sit down and say, okay, we met in the middle, now what's gonna happen? So this individual here, with my colleagues, we amended the drinking in public ordinance. So we included in that ordinance, smoking cannabis in public, you get a fine. So we working on that. Now, second, this item is not new for us. I have 8 years in this council. Legal is working for a quite big time to present it to committee, okay? Because we want to look into all the areas. There's a young man that says that there's a license for dog, tattoo place, et cetera, according to the presentation. The state of New Jersey allows to sell any kind of product that is delivered by tobacco, right? So they have a license and they sell cigarettes. And with that license, they could sell vaping, for example, because the license allow it by the state of New Jersey. We need to, and we here in consent that we need to tighten our zoning regarding popping up all the smoke shops everywhere, and there's no rule and regulation because they considered it a Class B, a merchandise place that they could sell candy. So there's a place right here that their sign says candy store, that says cookies, chips, cigarettes, e-cigarettes, and all that stuff. So what they gonna think? Kids could go over there and buy a bag of chips, etc., and then they sell them whatever they want to sell them. But let me say this and loud and clear. Our police department, and if anyone knew about this presentation here, I will get you the data from the police department, how many times they have addressed illegal selling to minors, illegal selling after hours, illegal selling this kind of product. There's a data, and if you go, for example, that place that you mentioned here next to Checkers, that place got raided a couple times, but there's a process and penalties, and they had to go to court, et cetera, et cetera. We are doing our part to legislate for you. The police is doing the enforcement up to any tip that comes in, they enforce it. Now we have to do something real important. This is all good, and we love it. But education with this vaping situation starts at home. Parents, question your son where they buy this. Parents, check the book bags of your kids. It goes both ways, 50-50 situation. We do ordinance, we make laws that apply to our community. The police have to enforce it. We need to educate our students that my mother used to say, when you grow up, you do whatever you want. But while you live in this house, if you live and you reside in this house, even if your beards grow, you have to do what I said in this house. So education starts at home. We're going to do our part to make it forward. Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you, Councilman. Let's well say. So we about to start city business. I really want to thank you all for the great presentation. There's now rebuttal, but if you want to speak, you could sign on the public portion because we're going to open the public portion very soon. Councilman Odin, you.
Thank you, Council President. Thank you, Council President. I would like to state that we just shared the process that how we introduce any new ordinance. It goes to the committee, it comes here for voting, it does. It's absolutely correct. But here where we are standing, the smoke shops are growing faster than candy shop in our city. And when I brought this topic to this conversation about a year ago, there was a smoke shop was in process just across from school number 5, So I sat down with the Corporation Council. I said, how can we limit the growing smoke shops and also the vaping products in our children's hand? You have heard the stories, the experiences of our children today. Right before we get here, we were in a meeting with Deputy Mayor Ryan O'Day here. We were meeting in a doctor's office, and doctor shared about a recent incident, last week's incident, from an elementary school from our school district. One of our child, 7th grader, was taking vaping products and the impact that this family is going through at this point. Now, when you're talking about it should go to the committee and committee should pass here, how long should it take? Corporation Council, I wanted to speak on that topic. When did you send it? When the ordinance was ready by you, and when did you send it to the committee? How long is sleeping there? The reason of bringing these young folks in this chamber is waking ourselves up. So I want Corporation Council, please, take the mic, and can you please tell us that what was the ordinance, that when did you send it to the committee, and how long it's taking to committee just give us approval to come here? We understand the process, but if process sleeps by itself, then we have to find another process.
Thank you. Thank you. So, council members, now we're going to start Corporation Council. If you have, I know Councilman Dean asked you for information. If you have it, if not, we're going to move into payment of bills, and we could come back to hear Corporation Council answer. Now, so we're going to start now, but there's only one thing that I'm going to say. You hear from our council, my council colleague, that we're working on the legislation to stop what's going on with the smoke shop in the city of Paterson. But I'm just going to say that we should stop any new smoke shop to be open in Paterson, period. And that's something that we should take action immediately on that, not to allow one more establishment of those to be open, because it's insane, it's just unacceptable, and it's out of control. So very soon that legislation is going to be on the floor, and we definitely have to invite the community, and we need your input. The presentation was fantastic, and I'm very sure that the Corporation Council is going to use a lot of the information that you present also to plug it in there, and we're going to do this collectively. It's amazing when the community get involved, but more importantly, when the youth get involved, because you guys are the future of this city, you are the future of this nation. I just want to say thank you once again for this phenomenal presentation, and let's start with payment of bills. Council, Corporation Council, you have that. You have an answer for Councilman Udine question. If not, I'll come back to you. So let's do payment of bill now before we. Councilman Udine, I'll come back when Corporation Council.
Council President, may I very briefly?
Go ahead, Corporation Council.
My records reflect that it was, the draft was completed in March of 2024.
March of 2024, over a year.
Okay, it was March 2024. Thank you. Thank you.
Let me just add. So, no. So we're just working on to amend the licenses for smoke shop and vape shops, just as long as it doesn't, I guess. Yeah, exactly.
Committee sat down with this? Excuse me? Committee talked about this? Yes.
Okay, so what we're doing with this legislation, we try to respect the state guideline, but we try to plug everything within. So, council members, once we get this on the floor to have the discussion, I think the whole community needs to get involved, because you will never see a perfect legislation. There's always room for improvement, and that's what we're gonna need the input of the community.
But
Councilwoman, let's do payment of bills.
Yeah, right before that. But you have to give clarity. Okay, you got to get clarity, because draft means information was sent for legal to draft the ordinance or the legislation. Once it's drafted, it has to go through the process. It doesn't happen overnight. You got to go to the state, which I talk privately, but I'll just say it openly. You got to go through to find out the regulations. There's really nothing. Smoke shops just popped up. So now we got to find out, is there any state legislation that will override us? wait to get the response for that. Then you got to make sure you work with our police department, our statutory agencies such as the court systems to make sure whatever legal parameters we put in place that they are enforceable, and you don't want anyone to be fined or shut down, or we want them closed, right? Or fined or whatever happens, and then they throw it out in court. So they're different. No, it doesn't take, but it is not 1 year from the time it started being worked on. The draft was done that time. When the draft is done, it doesn't mean it starts from March 24. It's drafted. Sometimes the language is, we have to change it. Sometimes you got to make some phone calls. So for me, I'm saying to you, this council is a body. It's not someone individually, is a gotcha. The councilwoman that's been leading the charge, she's not here tonight. And if she was here, she would speak to more of the actions. I'm speaking to some of the things because we've all had some input on what's going on. It's going to happen. It's going to be voted upon by this council, up or down. And that will be happening very, very soon. Let me explain an ordinance. An ordinance does not happen overnight. Once it's presented, it goes through workshop, and then it goes to regular. That will be the first vote. Then the second reading will be a workshop and a second vote, and then after that, it will be 21 days, it will go into law. July 1st is our very next meeting. That's the only meeting in July, and then we won't meet again until August. Right. So I'm telling you, by possibly, if not first reading on July 1st, definitely for August, the first reading should be moving forward at that time. So I don't want to give you false information and sit here and say something's going to happen. On the July 1st is just a reorg meeting. We don't do a lot of big items because it's supposed to be a very short meeting. But if it's something that really, if it's finished in their committee and they bring it out, then it will be on July 1st. But if not, it will be on in August.
Thank you,
so I just want to
Councilwoman.
make sure you are aware of that.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Council members, so we're going to start our workshop section. We're going to do payment of bills. So Councilman Mims or Councilman Kalik, who's doing payment of bills? Councilman Mims?
And just to note, and for Mr. Smallwood, like I said, or anyone else, we can give you a copy of the working document so that you can see that there is something that's actually in writing that is being worked on. It won't be a final document. It is a working document. Okay? We will provide it to you.
Thank you.
2017, we were here. July 12, 2017.
Thank you.
That was a
Thank
different.
you. We're going to, no, it's,
Yes.
no, we,
I commend that. I commend that. Mr. Smallwood, I commend that. Correct.
Right.
Good, correct.
You're welcome. No problem.
Payment of bill. Councilwoman.
Thank you. Thank you, officer. So for, let me just bring clarity because
I'm sorry.
we are doing it. I just want to say I had someone waiting, a major accident in one of our streets. Thank you. I had to give it to the officer. We need an EMT there immediately, so I want to thank the officer for that. Let me go over payment of bills. Tonight's payment of bills is $17,668,570.38. Out of this payment of bills, $11,326,743.01 is for payroll. We have Social Security and Medicare payments, which totals the payment of bills. I move this forward.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Mims and second by Councilman Kalik. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on payment of bills.
Roll call on the payment of bills in the amount of $17,668,570.38. Councilwoman Cotton, Councilwoman Devilick, Councilman Jackson, Councilman Kalik.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Mims.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Councilman Omar.
Yes.
Thank you. Councilman Udine.
Yes.
Councilman Velez.
Before I vote for the payment of bill, Mr. Smallwood, you're right. I appreciate everything that you do with your kids and the kids of Paterson. You know we will always be on board, and we're going to continue working for your agenda, making sure the safety of the city of those kids is met. And we are on the same page. But this is only 10% out of 100% that we have in the city of Paterson with parents. Saying that, payment of bills to pay, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Council President?
My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. The votes are 6 in favor, 3 absent. The payment of bills is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now, all right. So, Madam Clerk, just a second, council members. We have 4 items from police and fire. We have our great chief from the fire department. So we have item 33 and 34.
So before our great
Councilwoman
chief
Min.
speaks, all of our police and fire items were discussed in our meetings, and we are moving them forward. We have sent that approval to our police and fire, so I'm requesting all of those items be on consent.
Thank you, Councilwoman. So we have item 33, Madam Clerk, item 34, item 52 and 52 to go on consent, and item 38 as well. Okay?
Which one?
Item 33, 34, 38, item 50, and 52 on consent. Those are 4 items from our police and our fire department.
33, 34, 38, 33.
Community development.
So DPW director is here. Let's start with our director of DPW. I think, Chief, go ahead, Chief.
I'm also, the fire department is also involved in number 41, even though it says Public Works. I don't know if you want to go. It's about the dispatch center, for the project manager.
Yes, that's the reason why I call our director of public work, because item 41 is connected. And let me just say that I'm very satisfied with what I saw. I conduct a walkthrough with Councilman Velez to this project, and it's amazing what we're building there. It's a big project, and this is the beginning based on what I see, based on what I saw there. So can we start with item 41?
41, yes.
Correct. Consent.
So item 41, consent. Council members, we have item 39 through 46 on public work.
Council President.
Councilman Khalid.
Well, how much is the change order?
Change order. Director, the change order.
A second contract?
Yes. Engineer.
This is on. The change order for the project manager is $475,000, and that covers the 12-month contract for the project manager to manage the construction, as well as having a full-time inspector on site from the firm to ensure everything gets done correctly.
Council President.
Correct. Just a minute, Councilwoman. Continue, Councilman Khalid.
Well, the original contract was $514,000, correct?
That's correct. That was for the design.
And this is the second one is $475,000.
Yeah, for a 12-month contract.
But this is
the first contract was for design. Now this is for
is it like a second phase of work, or?
Yes.
So is this if it is a change order, it seems like a large amount.
That's absolutely
it's almost same as original contract. It doesn't make any sense.
The original contract.
So this phase by phase work going on. So it's a second contract.
Yes.
It's not a change order.
Council President.
So it's not a change order. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. So I have Councilman Mintz right after Councilman Velez, and if we could be brief on the question, that will be more effective. Yes.
So I don't have a question, but I have a request. Oh, thank God. I have a request. Can, one, I would like to see the resume of the project manager, and just to get the understanding, is that person PMP certified?
There are multiple people from the same firm.
Well, I would like to see all of the resumes attached. I want to know if there is a performance evaluation report that is attached, which is required now on all of these items. Also, I would like to see the original scope of work with whatever variations have happened up to this point. I'm okay with this moving forward, but if I can get that information, the entire council actually by the next meeting, I will be okay with that.
Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Mintz. Councilman Velez.
So this is the communication room where we're talking, right? So Chief, thank you for allowing Council President, myself, and to do a walkthrough, site visit, and to understand the little process that this building went through. Way back, it was meant for a purpose, incubator. Now, we need a state-of-the-art facility, and it changed everything because this place is going to save life. It's going to be used national, okay, and local, and it will serve other municipalities because it's going to be a state-of-the-art facility. Remember, you got a plan for a house. Unfortunately, you change that plan. Oh, there's a lot of motorcycle out there. 68, 100. Then you have to change the plan because the family grow, different plan, and director, fire chief, you guys doing a tremendous job. This will hit the nail where it's supposed to, and hopefully you gave us a time that probably is going to be up and running. Chief, what was it for the public who know?
We're hoping 18 months.
How many?
DPW go all in consent, Madam Clerk, from
Correct.
item 39 through 46.
It's a good project. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Director.
Council
Yes.
President.
Just a minute. I think that, and Councilman Khalid was totally correct because of the different amount that was the main reason why Councilman Velez and I decided to do a walkthrough so we have a clear understanding of that project, which is a big project, but it's a state-of-the-art project it's really going to put Paterson on the map in terms of, responding to an emergency. So, thank you. So, item from 39 to 46, they're all in consent, Madam Clerk. Councilman Mims?
Council President, can we do community development and health and human services next?
I was thinking about leaving the director for the last. You don't mind, Director?
So for community development, I'm recommending community.
Director.
Okay, we ready for me?
So, Councilwoman, you also have
Council
item
President, for community development, we have items 14 and 15.
and 56.
And 56, we had a robust discussion in our Community Development Committee, and we agree that all of these items are ready for consent.
So including item 56?
Including 56.
Okay, all right. So, Director, Madam Clerk, item number 14, item number 15, and item 56 will go on consent. Thank you, Director. I hope you enjoyed this great weather that we have outside. So, Health and Human Service, we have item 35 through 37. Councilman Ibrahim?
Consent.
Consent?
Consent.
Item 35, 36, 37, Madam Clerk, will go on consent. The Director has a meeting with the Chairman and then other Council colleagues, Councilwoman Mims.
Just a question on item number 35. I agree they all should be on consent. Is there a way we could expand the Give and Receive summer program?
So the $20,000 covers the 20 kids that we get every summer. And as you know, those are the children involved with the YSB program.
Yes.
So it's specifically, the donation is specifically to hire those kids.
So is there a way from now till next year that we can advocate
We can look for money, yes.
Okay. To our Corporation Council and our BA, for the Give and Receive, currently we have 20 students from our Youth Service Bureau that are able to go to the summer program. I would like to see us advocate for at least 10 more students so that we can help save our youth during the summer months. Thank you so much for this program.
Thank you, Director, and absolutely. So item 37 is a resolution authorizing the Youth Service Bureau of the Department of Health and Human Service to accept $20,000 donation. So in support of this program, we appreciate
consent,
it.
Right?
Thank you, Director. That's consent.
All of them. Yeah.
Item 48, Madam Clerk, consent. The bazaar license.
Consent.
So
49 and 50 are regular.
So, based on the request of Councilwoman Mims,
definitely.
item 49, resolution to authorize the issuance of estimated tax bill for the third quarter. That's
regular.
Absolutely, that is regular. And 50, resolution authorizing calendar year 2025 emergency temporary appropriation. And on item number 50, So we have an emergency, we have a temporary appropriation from June and July that will cover June and July for $54,527,765. And I want to say thank you to the Council Cali that voted against the introduced budget for 5.6. I want to say thank you because that was the responsible things to do. And the good thing that we have to talk about those good decisions. Because of that, we have a temporary appropriation, and we have to wait until by July we will know how much the state is going to give the city of Paterson, and we will adjust the budget based on the 2% only. So item 49 and 50 will go on regular.
And also duly note that this temporary appropriation is at a 2% increase.
Yes, exactly, which is item 49. You only see a 2% on that. So we're going to be able to work on the budget based on that. Now 5.6, now 4, no 3. So I want to say thank you once again to those council colleagues. Council members, can we go on finance?
51 you could put on consent. 51 you could put on consent.
Councilman Velez, 51, okay.
Yeah, consent.
51,
you could put,
consent.
Yes.
Number 11, consent.
Duly noted. So item 54, it's let's put it on regular. This is an item for Councilwoman Davila.
Which one?
Regular 54, and item 55. Let's put it on regular.
That's Hacienda.
Huh?
I'm gonna ask her to be co-sponsor because.
We could do it on the floor.
57 on consent.
Huh?
57 on consent.
Consent, 57 consent.
57 consent, yeah, correct.
Madam Clerk, if you
53
could,
is consent.
Okay, just a minute, council members. So, item 53.
Council President, I'm sorry, but it's kind of difficult to hear.
Yes. Council member, if we agree, can we turn that off in the back because I know it's so hard for.
That hurricane thing back there.
It's hot, but there's a lot of noise.
But we're doing the meeting so fast that we're gonna be cool. Yeah. Now, wow.
Thank you. Wow, much better.
Wow, much better.
Okay.
And
So
you have
where
number
we at now?
11. 11 is consent. You have 11? Yes. That's
Okay,
five
so
percent.
number nine, it's council members, item number 9.
Regular.
It's a resolution authorizing a work contract to citywide towing on regular. Item number 10 is a resolution for application for the lead funding
Regular.
to extend the Rio Fix program.
Regular.
Absolutely.
Which
on
one?
regular.
Which one?
But
Hold on.
Mr. Ebos is here, so council members.
Regular.
Yes, on regular. Mr. Ebos, your item will go on regular, but if you could just briefly just explain to council the project of this shared services agreement with the city of Clifton and Passaic, just briefly.
Yes, right. It's an application for a grant for $400,000 from the state to extend our program into Clifton and Passaic. About $250,000 of the dollars of that would come in to offset our costs. Ongoing, it would be cheaper even after the grant is done. Because basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be backing up each other. Like if a phone call comes in for Clifton and they don't have somebody on staff to answer it, we'll answer it, vice versa. You know, if we get a call, we don't have somebody on, they'll answer our call. So it's just a much more efficient way of doing things. We're spreading all of the fixed costs between the 3 cities. So
Council President.
Just more efficient.
Council President.
Just a minute, council member. So, Councilman Velez and
Thank you.
Councilmember Ibrahim.
So, in other words, if I understanding you correctly, you want to do this share agreement with Clifton and who else?
And Passaic.
And Passaic. And you say if a phone call comes in?
Yeah, so when the phone call comes into the 833 Real Fix number, you'll get a choice like 1 if you're from Paterson, 2 if you're from Clifton, 3 if you're from Passaic. It'll be routed to the appropriate city. But if the person in that city isn't there, they're on lunch or something, or they're evening hours, then the other city will pick up.
Okay.
And then there'll be like a reconciliation at the end of the year. If we answered more of their calls than they answered ours, then there can be a transfer of funds to us.
Mr. Bossy, it sounds great. Pick up the phone. Hi, I'm from Clifton. I have a problem with addiction.
Yep.
I need help. And you're going to tell them, oh, come to Paterson.
No,
Our
absolutely
office.
not.
No, hold on. Where are you going to serve them? Is that a phone call? Is that where are you going to serve them? Where are you going to
No,
serve
that's,
them?
that we provide transportation. They say, hey, I'm in Clifton, I want to go into inpatient treatment, right? And they say, okay, we're not sending you into treatment in Paterson, we're probably sending you into treatment someplace else where there are other treatment centers like South Jersey or Western Jersey. And we send an Uber there and they picked up, they're not brought into Paterson. No, absolutely not. Matter of fact, normally, when any of these people call from any of these cities, probably the treatment center we're sending them is not in any one of our cities because
So in other
they're better
words,
served elsewhere.
so in other words, it's almost $6 million you could apply for the six.
I'm sorry? No, it's 400,000.
Oh, 400,000.
Yeah.
Only to pick up calls.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously there's the call system, there's marketing, there's advertising, you know, there's picking up the calls. There's the transportation costs, right? We actually pay for the Ubers. That's actually, a lot of people take that service. It's very effective.
So, Mr. I don't know if you call you director, but program director.
Yeah, true.
Way back a couple months ago, the mayor has announced that we have address 500 plus through Real Fix.
Yep.
And you say it is all Paterson?
Yeah.
All Paterson?
Well, actually, there might have been a call or two
So
that came from
I want.
Clifton, and we might have
Correct.
hooked them up with
I
a
just
doctor.
want to make sure, because the problem is I see the same people right in the corner, Summer and Market, asking for money. You tell them, this is the experience.
Yeah.
You tell them, listen, you can't be here.
Yeah.
The same lady, the same person in the wheelchair, the same person in Broadway and Madison on a wheelchair, and you stop and you say, you know what? Go to Real Fix. And you tell them to go to Real Fix. You know what the answer back? I already tried that. They don't doing nothing for me. Okay? Now, we want real data. And that data only reflect in our neighborhood.
I'm sorry, say again?
We want data. And the real data should reflect in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
If you tell me that this money is going to alleviate and rehab individuals, why we had the same individual sitting over there and behind Chase Bank that almost slapped a store owner the other day, you know, right here by the consulate Dominican, that's a Real Fix problem. Where's the outreach?
Okay.
So what I want from you before Tuesday, I want a data, how many people real from Paterson. No, I just have a piece of paper here.
No. I gave this, and by the way, Councilwoman Mims, I was thinking of you when I included the needs statement in there, because you always want the needs.
I was coming to the mic.
Yeah,
No,
because
I'm just saying.
All right.
You always
Because
ask for
last
the
but not
needs-
least, Council
you want-
President.
You always want the needs statement, and I was listening.
Last but not least, Council President.
Go ahead.
We are a county seat. Now we're going to become the problem solution of other cities when they could create their own program and take care of their own people.
But it's not
This
efficient to
is
do so.
a hub. Listen, I know more money you get, the better salary you get. So
What are you talking about? I get paid the same no matter what.
No, I know the game.
There's no game.
I know the game. Your data do not match with the reality of what we're going through the city of Paterson. You say Real Fix, have Real Fix people out there, and we still have the same homeless, the same people, and without work.
Okay.
Now, why you don't take this money and get nonprofit organization and work with them and walk the beat with them and Real Fix people? Giving them money. Actwork has an organization. Mature Sister has another organization. There's another organization in the block, Ruby Vision. I know, no, Real Fix. We're Real Fix? So the data, we want data. And you only
provided
doing,
the
sir,
data
you're
in
only
this
doing only
document.
presentation.
What's that?
You're doing only presentation. I want the data. I don't see it here. So I only have a piece of paper. You could do it before Tuesday or email it to me. All right, I don't want it now. You could email it to me Tuesday, before Tuesday.
Okay.
We want to see the Real Fix working, but we should not be the hub.
Now, do I
We
get
should
to
not be
speak
the
at
hub.
all?
Sure.
We
I'm
should not be the hub
May I speak?
of 60 municipalities that we have in the county
Let me just
to fix their problem, but we're not fixing our problems.
Thank you, Councilor
Thank you,
Velez.
Mr. President.
So very brief, Mr. Ed Bossi, I'm going to allow you to speak right after Councilwoman Mims. She has a request for you. It's a question. Go ahead, Councilwoman.
So, Councilman Velez, you brought a valid point. So here's my recommendation before next week. That's why I'm making sure this is on regular, not consent. We don't want to pass it over. It needs to be brought out before the public. One, the capacity and the bandwidth. We already are taking care of Paterson, and then I want to understand the rationale of why we need to expand to other towns. Why can they not find their own solutions for their town?
It's in there.
The second thing in that document, in this proposal, I want to make sure 100% of the people, if it's approved, are all Paterson residents. Everybody Paterson, nobody from another town, all Paterson residents, period.
Okay.
The third thing is trying to expand it. What system are you using, and what is the capacity and the bandwidth of the system that you're using? Have you tested for abandoned call rate? I need to see your needs-based assessment that you said you have before you. We all need to get a copy. Have you done a cost-benefit analysis? I want to see all of that. And then I also want to see a breakdown of how many employees you think it will require to fulfill this program. The other thing, I see the administration brought it forward, but I don't know if this went through committee. I don't think this came through number 10.
Yeah,
I
we
think
went through
this is
finance.
So Councilman, we have a discussion on
So,
finance.
well, yeah, but all of these, for me, I need to see all of this before next Tuesday, because my vote will be no. So I'm letting you know in advance. I want to see all of those details before next week, because tonight, giving it to us tonight, we got other items on the agenda. But
Most of that is in the
do
document
you
that
have
I had
copies for all
presented to you.
councilmen?
Okay, so Mr.
Wait, I'm not done, Council
Go ahead,
President.
Councilwoman.
Do you have copies for all council members?
Actually, I was told that they were given to you, but I have a copy here for you if you want one right now.
Okay, you could give me that because I'm asking, but I want to recommend that every council member gets a copy by next week, okay?
Thank you. Mr. Ed Bossi, so if you could share that information with the rest of the council, Cali, and I want you to understand the level of frustration of this governing body. Paterson has been the dumping ground for all the people with addiction in the state of New Jersey. Sometimes I have conversation with our firefighters that working on the ambulance, and they picking up people from Atlantic City, Morristown, people from all over the state. They just coming into Paterson, and they come in because they want to get into any program, and two or 3 days later, you see them on the corner with the luggage under the bridge by the bus stop, and it's affecting everybody. It's affecting everybody. So make sure you understand what we're going through, and just share that information with us.
By the way, I know what you're going through because I live it every working day and sometimes on the weekends. I deal with these people every single day.
Yeah.
The worst situations that you can imagine, I deal with every day. And I understand what Councilman Velez says, but the importance of the program is that when that person on the corner is ready for treatment, we have to be ready for them.
Okay.
I cannot force them to be ready. But time and time again, the problem has been is when somebody on the street is ready to get treatment and get off the street, the treatment takes a week to deliver. And we said this has got to be as easy as getting a pizza. And that's what it has been for people that are ready to get into treatment. We are there and ready when they are ready. I cannot force them to be ready.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bossi. Council members, so let's continue with the agenda. So item 47 will go. It's the first reading. So item 40.
Council President.
If there's Councilwoman Mims.
I'm just recommending that item 13 be on regular.
Just a minute. Item 47. So we move. It's a first reading ordinance. Gotta be.
No, not 47.
No. So
I said item 13.
I'm still on 47, Councilwoman, because I have economic development team here. So if there's any question on this item, this will go on. It will pass on. It
No,
will go.
I'm good with this. This is for the historically church. There's no issues with that.
Okay,
They did the signage, they did their process. This is just the council's procedure. We're good. They went through all land use
Which
laws.
one?
Item 47, Councilman.
47 is the
Yeah.
first reading ordinance.
Yes. So we all good, Director?
Yeah.
This is the only one that you have in the book for tonight. This is an easy one. It's
It's
going
an
to be an
easy
easy
one.
meeting for you. Have a good night.
We're going to be celebrating
you.
soon.
At 48 is
So council members, so
We're going to be
48
celebrating
consent.
soon.
just a minute. So,
item 48.
Thank you.
consent.
Item number 12, council members, so Councilman Velez.
I want to, Councilman, I
12.
want it on regular, please.
Item number 12, regular.
He served
So,
a lot, so we should.
Item number 13.
Whoever want to be council president, can you put Councilwoman Min's co-sponsor?
Yes.
Sorry, put her as a sponsor.
Yes,
Yes. Whoever want to be sponsor, I will allow it.
yes.
Okay.
Okay? This gentleman served
Yes.
with dignity
He
the
did.
Congress for many
Congressman
decades.
Charlie Rango. His,
Yeah, Rango.
Yeah.
history in the making in the United States.
And his viewing.
Thank you.
And
Let's
his
go.
viewing and commemoration his memory is going to be sometime in June at the end because it's prepared by Congress.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Thank you.
okay.
And
Madam
just-
Clerk, add Councilman Mintz and myself on item number 12 as
And
a
also, we
sponsor.
want to duly note that his son is the CEO
Correct.
of Eva's Village. So we want to make sure we know that Congressman Rangel's son, Mr. Howard Horton, who is the CEO or Executive Director of Eva's Village, is right here in the city of
Son-in-law,
Patterson.
son-in-law.
Okay, item number 13. This item went through committee. Item 13 is a resolution renaming Hamilton Avenue between Summer Street and Carter
Regular.
Street.
Regular.
Which one is that?
That's me and
As
Councilman
Dr.
McCarthy.
Reverend Mose. It went through committee?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Item 13, you want a regular, Councilwoman?
yes. Yeah, I don't hear you ask about nobody else's street naming going through committee.
No, just only rename that. I just want to make sure
No,
that.
but
went
other
through.
people,
There's only one to rename it for tonight, Councilwoman. Yeah. So council members, finance of 17 through 32, most of the items, 17 consent, Madam Clerk, 18 young yard consent. Councilman Mims, you could go through, go ahead.
So for finance, all of these items are recommended on consent. We spoke about all items on consent except for 28, it will be on regular.
Yes, only 20 Most of the items, they're dance hall license, entertainment license.
Oh, as a matter
and
of fact,
coin
all on
operator.
regular, because it's certified. All on regular, all finance items.
What, on regular?
All of them, all on consent.
Or consent?
How about 28?
But Council President.
Is it
and
28
Council-
regular?
Council President, Councilwoman Mint. We put in this item, finance, the renewal license and this and that. But please, every business here, be a good neighbor.
Thank you.
A general message for all of them.
Thank you, Councilman Velez. And this is something very important. The renewal of the dance floor license, the entertainment license is something extremely important for our local business. But we want to encourage you to respect your neighbor and respect the city where you do business
And announce
also
that
as
the
well.
agenda is done.
Okay, so item on second reading, we'll move with the item with second reading. So we have a large list of repealing handicap and establishment orders. So I just want to mention that those residents of the city of Paterson that have the handicap, please use it the way you have to use it, please. If you have the privilege to have a handicap, do not park outside the handicap to save a parking spot for another person. You're gonna get in trouble. If the public worker and inspector find out, it's gonna be a problem. There's a limited parking in the city of Paterson. That's a big issue. So use it respectfully and the way you're supposed to use it. So we conclude the agenda, council members. So now let's start the public portion. Members of the public that wish to speak on the public portion, you have 3 minutes.
Yes.
Right after the 3 minutes, I would respectfully ask you to move and allow the next speaker to use the 3 minutes. There's no profanity allowed in the chamber, and you're going to be able to address the council and the administration in those 3 minutes. Madam Clerk, let's get the list and let's call the first speaker. Just for the record, I know we're going to have a lot of names there that they're not going to be here ready because they came to speak on the presentation from Councilman Furiudin, maybe Councilman, so we might have some speakers. So let's call the first speaker.
Wow.
There's some members of the community that I know that they signed in, but they already spoke already. Go ahead, Council.
Okay, the first speaker is Deborah Barber.
She's here.
Please state your name and Ms. Barber, thank you.
Address.
Just Deborah Barber,
Thank you.
Paterson, New Jersey. To the council, I just want to come before you and express gratitude. That doesn't happen in Paterson often. However, on May 31st, 6 o'clock in the morning, the city of Paterson had some kind of storm which knocked down a tree that I've been before the council, Public Works, and told them about the tree. Well, it finally came down. Okay? 150-year-old oak went down. I have pictures. Nonetheless, here I am today because of this tree, okay? Because it was lifting up the sidewalk. It was doing so much damage, and I kept calling. And I had my lawyers call, and everybody will do it. They'll cut down, they'll do the shaving of the branch, but that didn't happen. I don't know what happened. All I know is 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm laying in the bed, and my neighbor's calling me. She's like, "You hear me?" I was like, "What's wrong?" She said, "The tree went down." I was like, "I didn't hear it."
We gotta get it out.
Nonetheless, that lets you know that I'm blessed. But I would like to read this for the record. All right, it says, "Dear council members, fire department, and the police department. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to all of you with swift and professional response when the tree fell on my home during recent storm. In what was a frightening and a chaotic situation, your presence and sense of safety, calm, and reassurance that I will never forget. Your teamwork, compassion, and dedication in protecting our community were on full display. And I'm grateful for everything you did to ensure my safety and assess the damage quickly. I would like to extend a special thank you to Councilman Michael Jackson for his personal outreach and support following the incident. His kindness and concern during a difficult time was deeply appreciated and reminded me how fortunate we are to have leaders who care deeply about their constituents. So please know that your service does not go unnoticed, and I thank you sincerely. I really appreciate it because I don't want to get emotional right now, but it was traumatic. And I live alone, and this tree would have split, the guy that removed it said that it would have split this house in half. But with the grace of God that I serve, I'm here to tell you, and walked out that house with.
Wow.
So thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Council President.
Councilman.
Just very quickly, I apologize for breaking the quorum, but as a point of clarity, Corporation Counsel and Mr. BA, when I'm telling you this was a big tree, this was a big tree. She kind of just played it down a bit, but that tree was supposed to crush her entire house. She has a small cape over on the near off of Chamberlain Avenue, and if it wasn't for the branches that hit the ground first, her entire house would have been flattened, and she was in the house. So I want to just, Council President, I want to put that on notice because, as she said, she's been reporting this thing, and we have many residents that continue to report these trees that are severe hazards. And if we don't do what we need to do, you know, this could have been a tragic event. So I want to make sure that we are doing what we need to do to take down these trees that the residents are complaining about. And I have a list as well. So I appreciate the opportunity, Council President. And I think we should take time to look at the photographs so we can appreciate just how fortunate she is to still be here.
Thank you. Thank you,
Council President. Just make sure the BA knows because he don't know.
Yes,
we
Mr.
increased that line item to contract the company for $500,000 to take care of those trees that are real hazard for the city. So
Mr. VA, if you take note and take that
And
information,
based
that way,
on Councilwoman
that way
Mendes.
Public Works Director Bill Rodriguez can take immediate action on this matter. And there's a large list of trees throughout the city of Paterson that damaging the sidewalk and everything else. So if you could get her information, please. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Email for you, Cassandra. Email for you. And that address.
Go ahead, Madam Clerk. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Councilman. Next speaker is A.R. O'Day.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Go over there, tell them the list who's there now.
Elizabeth Garcia.
It's easy.
Left.
Yeah, go scratch the list. Yeah.
Jeray Scott.
Left.
Next.
Deborah Hannibal.
Oh, no, she's here.
Please state your name. Thank you.
Deborah Hannibal, Paterson, New Jersey. Good evening, Council, Madam Clerk, and all of your staff working with you this evening. To Mr. B.A., good evening. How do you like your new boss? And I'm not talking about the mayor. I'm talking about that baby. And to
She's keeping me
Corporation
on.
Counsel. Yeah, you know who the boss is, right? They let you know. So I was so happy that I got to witness our young people here this evening. That was an excellent presentation, and they brought their concerns to this council. And they did an awesome job. They were well prepared. And it's just an example of great parenting and great support systems. So I commend the Mr. Smallwood and his staff for the excellent job that they're doing with our young people. As we prepare to celebrate Juneteenth, I'll say happy Juneteenth. Black history is American history. This is our shared history. I also want to say thank you to everyone who voted. If you were registered to vote and you voted, give yourself a big hand. Give yourself a hand. Our young people that were here tonight, they showed that they want to be a part of this system. So whoever's running for mayor, I would like to see that person dedicate themselves to working with those young people to get their issues concerned. I go out and speak to young people, and what they tell me is that elected officials, and I heard this even from the AG, that they just feel like elected officials are in it for themselves. They're in it for themselves. And they're not concerned about the things that concern them. They came here tonight and they said, in this community, this is a major issue for us and we want to do something about it. And I heard about this thing and it really doesn't really go here, but I figure out we need to make it work, call a participatory budget. They talked about collecting fees. Those fees should be given to the young people and they should have control over it, to buy things that they are concerned about. They don't care about street naming. They don't care about that. But we need to have them come here to say, if you had $200,000, what would you do with it? And we need to set up a fund so they have an opportunity. But I'm running out of time because I still want to know how we're going to address the conduct of employees who are well paid in this city, managing $300 million, who are been arrested for DUI and have violated the public's trust. We have other sitting council members that have also exhibited conduct that was unbecoming of a public official, and there has been silence from this administration. Even though we know you can't do it, that the mayor can't fire you, but they can do something, they can speak out against it. And one last thing, are we still paying Fabiana Mello $200 an hour to write checks? and to pay bills. The last I checked, for 6 months of work, she was paid $63,000. I know people that have worked in this city for 25, 30 years and retired and have not and will not earn $63,000.
Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Council President. Next speaker is Eddie Olivares.
Good evening, all. Mr. Jackson, I will have to ask you to stop coming in so late. This is boring when you're not here. These guys patting each other in the back, that's really all they do. Anyway, I will quote one of the young persons that came here earlier, Yuleila Krum, I believe she is. Quote, "You have the power to protect us and you do nothing." Listen to that. You have the power to protect us and you do nothing. She is right. And you're here, Mr. Udine, taking pictures and celebrating, and it kind of reminds me of one time when the mayor was leading a march for to remove guns from the streets. He's responsible for the guns on the streets. You're responsible for the situation that these young people are living. You understand? You are responsible. You have the power, but you do nothing. Anyway, I hope that Yuleila hears me say that, because she's absolutely right. You have the power, but you're not doing anything. Yuleila, the problem is, at least part of the problem is, if this message gets to you and to the people that were here before, is that these guys, a lot of these guys, get money from these smoke shops, and therefore, you can't do anything about it. That's part of the problem. You pretend that you know nothing about it. Luis Velez said earlier that he leaves when I come to the mic, that this council has amended the drinking public ordinance to address some of the problems caused by alcohol and vaping. Ms. Mims, Alex, I am addressing you. This is your boss that's talking to you? Okay. Yeah, well, pay attention. But anyway, listen.
Talk about something.
Bottom line is that he was talking about the ordinance that was amended to take care of some of the problems for alcohol. He probably forgot what happened Mother's Day weekend. Alex, you probably remember that. You were with him drinking. And so, it's guys, you should serve as an example to the people of Paterson. You should be the example. This guy over here urinating in public, the bouncer, yeah, I mean, this is what we do. The bouncer, it's, drinking in illegal basements. But anyway, I don't want to leave this mic before I congratulate the people that voted, especially those that supported Kenyatta Stewart. He kicked your ass. The mayor and the people over here, 7 of you, says an article in the paper, supported his opponents. But he kicked your ass.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Abdul Ali. He's right there.
Of corruption. And Velez, you can stay right where you at, because you can hear me. You are a disrespectful representative of this city. I remember when you was on this side, talking that mess, and Almighty God gave you the rope to get in that seat. Then you get in and act like a fool. Parking where you want to park, doing what you want to do, peeing everywhere and anywhere. Then hit a girl's car. Now check it out now. I'm gonna hit you with something. If that was Michael, all of y'all be having your foot down there on his neck. On his neck. You little racist people. And Melinda, let me hit you all. February, African American Day. You African Americans opened the door for us. Yeah, for you to do what? Close the door on us? I'm gonna call you out. Because I came in many times about that lot out there. It took you 6 months to get the lot done. So basically what you're saying, fuck you. Sorry to tell you, I'm sorry, forgive me y'all, but I have to say it like that. Because that's the way they think about us. Do you want us to respect you when you don't respect us? Them people, let me tell you something about addiction. It's a habit-forming conditioning. You know what the first addiction was that hit the human being? A big lie. And we've been lied to for years. And y'all don't accept it. And you Muslims, oh boy, let me tell you something. I don't know what Quran you reading. I don't know what Hadith you reading. And you going along with this garbage they have in here? Something wrong with you. And the reason why I'm saying that, because y'all think you better than somebody. You're not better than us. We better than you. We've been in the house of Shaitan for 400, 600 years, and our code of conduct is great, from the Nation of Islam to the world movement of Islam. And this ain't about religion, this is about character. One thing Elijah said, I'm gonna clean you up, and the next man gonna fix you up, and he's fixing us up well. And the reason why I can talk about addiction, in August I'll be having 36 years clean, not off the drugs, off the crazy thinking that's still in my head. And I keep it in check. At the age of 71. So Menendez, don't come to our functions playing this role, you and your brother Vanez and all the rest of y'all, like you with us, but in the deep chambers of your heart and your mind, it's like, forget them. But you know what? Allahu Akbar pursue it. He did something that Almighty God wanted to happen so Abdul Aziz can wake up. This is serious business here. Your job as a city council is to protect everybody in this city. Not somebody, everybody. I'm gonna get some more God talking right now. Alhamdulillah. Don't start no mess. You got some power, but you ain't got all the power. Allah got the power. Just remember that. Don't get lost with that. Because when you get lost with that, and any other people, get some, you see your brother, give him some power, he gets stupid. And behavior. He may have some knowledge, but his behavior is immature. So listen, I hope y'all can learn how to pray together. Read some literature that can clear your head up. Because your head is foggy with corruption. That's why I say this is a Shaitanic order. And guess where it starts from? The head. Andre, get yourself together. You're either going to be a Christian or a Muslim. And whatever book you read, you better get with it well, till you get your code of conduct in order and be universal for all people.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is G. Greer. Oh, there he is. Okay. Please state your name.
Good evening, G. Greer. To the business administrator, I want to say welcome. This is my first meeting since you've been here. I want to say welcome. Everyone else know me. My name is G. Greer. Hope to work with you in the future as I did previous business administrators. The reason I'm coming here tonight, fresh off a victory for my brother, my friend, Mr. Kenyatta Stewart. But I just want to say that was round one. We have to gear up for November, and I'm looking forward to the rest of you guys to gear up with us in November to beat the other side. Because we got another race in November, and we're gonna need all hands on deck for that race. So if you haven't done so already, I hope you plan those meetings, and we gotta bring home another victory, and it's gonna take everybody. But the reason I'm here, well, another reason, second reason I'm here is, y'all know I love Barbara Park. Y'all know I love that park, right? Barbara Park had an unfortunate break-in where a person cut the fence to gain entry into the park after midnight. DPW is aware of it, but if you guys kind of like nudge the mayor and anybody else to repair that fence immediately. The second thing is, I've been spending a lot of time over at Barbers Park and talking to the residents on that block. And today I saw what they was talking about with the speeding coming down Fair Street. I know for years you guys said we can't put speed bumps and speed humps, but when I travel to our neighboring cities, I see speed humps and speed bumps. We need some signs coming down Fair Street, you know, says children playing, playground. And also, we need no dogs signs. Since the park was redone, we have a sign, but it's not at the entrance. Those signs need to be moved. We need to put one on Broadway because we have a new entrance over there, and we need to put one on Fair Street because listen, those folks in the Fourth Ward love dogs, and they got dogs, but they can't be bringing those dogs in there pooping all over the ground, and these babies have to step in it and roll in it. It's just not fair to them. And the other thing is, 7:30 this morning, I was there, and Captain Murray just happened to be driving down Fair Street, and he saw me and stopped, and you know, we had a really good conversation. One of the things that Council President, if I may, one of the things that I said to him is that our parks need some more law enforcement. Just even if they just stop by and walk in the park, say hello to the kids and blah, blah, blah. Councilwoman Mims, I visited your park today, and I was so excited. There was a sheriff officer car in front of the park. I was like, wow. But he wasn't there for the park. He was actually towing the car. But his presence with that vehicle there made a world of a difference. So on that note, y'all, I want to say good night. Everybody have a good night. And I hope for those who did not support Brother Kenyon Stewart, I hope you can find in your heart to come around, because I ain't got nothing against the Republicans, y'all. But we need to keep those seats Democrats. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother G. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Next speaker is Zakia Mack.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Zakia Mack, Paterson, New Jersey. Tonight I brought my son with me for him to understand and get the experience as to what our political life is looking like in the city of Paterson. We are in the most divided state that a city can possibly be in. And after watching this election that happened on Tuesday, it further let me know that there will be a long time before we can mend all of this together. I understand everybody has different point of views as to how a city is supposed to be ran, but I guess we can all be in agreement that as a city being ran like Paterson is not the ideal way to run a city. I don't know if you guys ever watched the movie Shallow Al. Somebody, you know, you see what you want to see, but you don't see what reality is. And reality is that we're in a crisis. Paterson is in a serious crisis. We don't have the resources to help get things where it needs to be. Wayne is prospering fine. Pompton Lakes is prospering fine. Why are we still in the Stone Ages of Paterson? We're still in 1990. And I'm trying to understand as to how do we bring it up to 2025? Those 2 decades passed. And we're still sitting here bickering, arguing, trying to figure out who is right about this and who's wrong about this, when as a council, you guys, everybody, there's 9 of y'all, everyone should be together. Everyone should be together. There should not be any time for division right now, because guess what? This is like, you know how a divorce goes? When the mom and dad is arguing over which kid they're gonna take? This is what the city is looking like. A bad divorce. And we don't have grandma and granddad to come and fix it. Grandma and granddad is tired. And I'm talking about my seniors. They're tired. They want more. I'm quite sure they have never seen this city in the state that is in right now. Am I right? They have never seen this. I have never seen this, and I'm younger. I'm 45. And I'm sitting here looking at people as if like, well, where are we? Is this a Twilight Zone? We have to get it together. We gotta be on the same page if you want this city to flourish the way that it's supposed to. The city is not flourishing. It's not. We don't know where money's going. We don't know where resources is going. We don't even know where we're going. But the leader that's driving this bus is going to crash into a wall that no one will be able to survive from. And if we don't survive this crisis that we have here, we're looking at a lifelong of hardship. Just look what the Tangerine tyrant is doing. The mayor, the president, I don't call him the president, he's the Tangerine tyrant. And until we get our home together, we cannot get everyone on the same accord. We're in a dangerous time right now. We need to come together and figure out how we are going to beat the evil that is facing us.
Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Elvis Durham.
Mr. Elvis Durham, Paterson, New Jersey. I'm going to speak to the black community. Enough is enough, y'all. Enough is enough. And when I say enough is enough, you look at every community, they got it together. It's time for us to build our own community. We don't have to wait for no politicians to help us. Let's support one another and let's build. And I'm gonna finish that on my YouTube channel. Coming up soon is Elvis Durham Outreach Music Productions presents Elvis Durham Gospel Summer Jam 2025, Friday, June 20th. Starts at 7 o'clock p.m. The doors open at 6 o'clock p.m. at New Generation Kingdom of Power Ministry, 170 North Main Street, Paterson, New Jersey, where the pastor is Pastor Thomas Purry. For more information, you can contact me, 862-823-3895. Like I said, black community, it's time for us to support one another. This event is open for everybody, black, Spanish, everybody. Because we are going to be celebrating the Juneteenth celebration, okay, at my summer jam. Also, Saturday, June 21st, it's the African Heritage Parade. Black community, wake up. We have our own parade. That means it's time for us to support our own parade. Our parade should not be the smallest parade in the city. We got DJs, right? We got businesses. We got city councils all over Passaic County. We got all these organizations. This should be one of the biggest successful parade ever. Stop sitting back complaining, oh, the parade's too small. Well, be in the parade. Support it. Give donations. Every donation counts. Okay? The parade starts at 10 o'clock a.m. and it's starting from the Masonic Temple on 224 Broadway, Paterson, New Jersey. Black people, wake up. Look around. We the only one don't have nothing. But guess what? We the only race fighting one another. Everybody want to be mayor in 2026. Let it be one candidate. Stop with the bullcrap. And another thing, we got the Juneteenth celebration. On the same day, Saturday, June 21st, at Eastside Park. At Eastside Park, we having the Juneteenth celebration. At Eastside Park, I believe the address is 800 Broadway. It starts at 12 o'clock p.m. until 6 o'clock p.m. Y'all can hear me? 12 o'clock p.m. You cut my mic off, man?
No.
Man, don't do that.
Speak close. 12.
Don't do that. Hey,
No,
come on, don't
just-
do that. Okay.
Just continue.
Let me finish,
Go
okay?
ahead, go.
The Juneteenth celebration is Saturday, June 21st,
June 21st.
12 o'clock p.m. until 6 o'clock p.m. Eastside Park, 800 Broadway, Paterson, New Jersey. Okay? And I want to say this, now I'm going to close. I respect everybody. Respect me, okay? Most people come up here, they go overtime, they cuss. I don't come up here and do that. I come up here to promote. I don't get paid for this, okay? I got one more announcement. Highlight Junior's anniversary celebration. It's Saturday, June 28th. It's going to be at the International High School on 200 Grand Street, Paterson, New Jersey. This is going to be one of the biggest gospel black concerts to ever hit Paterson. And it's going to be Saturday, June 28th, start at 3 o'clock p.m. For more information, you could contact Eric McKenzie at 973-545-7819. I also want to say we have a grand open of an ice cream shop called Silver Fox right here in the city of Paterson, New Jersey, downtown Paterson, on 59 Broadway, downtown, this Friday, June 13th. At 1 o'clock p.m., I'm asking every city council, the mayor, everybody that's watching this on YouTube, whatever you're watching this, if you see this later on, still go and support. Bring your money, support, okay?
Thank you, Elvis.
God bless you, and you have a good night, Council President, okay?
Thank you. Let's speak.
Y'all all have a good night.
And Juneteenth is the 21st at Eastside Park. 21st. I hear.
I say Saturday, June 21st at Eastside Park.
Masani Temple all the way to Eastside Park. I hear
Yes.
June 12th. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes. Okay.
Next speaker is Wahida Muhammad. Please state your name.
Victory, save the Lord. With God's name, good evening. And I didn't expect anybody to say good evening because that's not you. But it's okay. And I just thank God for the fact that He has said be and it is. Because see, some of you think you can say what somebody is or is not going to do. But God says what's going to happen to all of us, even you. But I know you don't believe that yet. Now, what I really want to talk about today is honesty is the best policy. Because my book tells me I should be honest, even if it's against myself. Because that's what I'm going to be charged with. What I do, I'm going to be held accountable for that. And whoever goes along with the foolishness, you also going to be held accountable for that. But I know you don't believe that either. Because you think whatever you say and whatever you do, it's only when you decide what it is. But I'm here to tell you, God has another plan. And I want to say to you all tonight that listen to these young people about these smoke shops. Because I remember when that idea came about and you all sat there with the timeline to say what should and should not happen in this city. And I remember us asking you to make sure that you put some guidelines up so that those smoke shops won't be open before the kids go to school, will not be close to churches. All of those things was asked of you. And nobody said anything except Councilman Jackson about what it's going to do to our children. And I know you don't want to hear this, but hey, I agree with the speaker that said those smoke shops are not only selling what you think they're selling, but they're also selling you. Because it's only because you have allowed certain things to happen in this city. But I want you to know there's a God that sees you in that back room. And He knows what it is that you have or have not done. And He's going to take care of you too. Because you don't believe that. And the last thing I want to say is that coming up in November, I don't care who it is, you can sit back and say what you are not going to do and how you don't care. But I want you to know, come November, God is going to speak to that too. And all the things that you will sit back and allow to happen, even the things against yourself. And I remember Councilman Velez, you said to this community, you were gonna go home and you were gonna pray about the situation involving yourself. And then you were gonna make a decision. So I see the decision that you have made has been to continue to do what you're doing. But there's a God that sits high and looks low. And you and Donald and all the other ones are gonna stop when he says you're gonna stop. I know you don't believe that either. God bless.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
There are no more speakers, Council President.
Motion to close.
So moved.
Moved by
Sino one, move to close.
moved by Councilwoman Mims, second by Councilman Velez and Councilman Foriudin. Roll call, Madam Clerk, to close the public portion.
Roll call to close the public portion. Councilman Jackson.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I guess that's what the saying is. So first, let me apologize to all for being a bit tardy. My oldest daughter graduated from high school today. She was inducted into the National Honor Society. Top 4 or 5 in the class, probably would have been higher, but she transferred into that school a little bit later. 4.2 GPA. So this entire notion of there's only specific groups that perform, I'm here to make sure I dispel any such rumors. And she was a 2-sport athlete, acknowledged for that as well. So hats off to her and her mother for the fantastic job that was done. So Brother G, on that note, man, listen, we're not at odds in too many items, but tonight I'm in total disagreement. All that so-called aligning now, and we gotta have the Democrats, and the Democrats are the one that's freaking destroying this place. This city of Paterson, Democrats have been in control of this city for how long? Forever. It's the worst ran city in the state of New Jersey. Where did this post come about where the top most desirable places to live in Paterson was rated in the top 10? I mean, you know, and to Ms. Mack, I'm definitely gonna grab onto that shallow how theory, because you're absolutely correct. How people walk around this community talk about how fantastic things are, cutting ribbons, celebrating, and you can't even sit through a council meeting without the illegal music and the bikes flying up the sidewalk. You hear it from here. And it's incredible how we just turn a blind eye to that. I think it was G who commented on the dog poop. It's not very difficult. I mean, we just spent $4,000 per solar garbage can, right? You go to other communities, they'll have a nice little cute little dog box there with some doggy bags, because you know, one of my residents calls me all the time. He's like, what, and this is almost a three-day-a-week thing. What's going on with the dog poop? I don't want people's dog pooping in front of my house. And you know, obviously I don't have much to do with the enforcement, but we don't get to that type of low-hanging fruit. Those type of infractions continue to happen, you know, like blocking a fire hydrant and, you know, doing things of that nature, because we haven't obviously seemed to be able to get in front of those kinds of things. What we do is we target our residents on people who are just trying their best to abide by the law and, you know, towing their cars illegally and things of that nature. Relative to the smoke shops, I mean, listen, it's very simple. Anything goes in Paterson. You have people who are flocking here from all over the place just to be a part of it. And, you know, it's just disappointing on how we, you know, members of the public understand what's going on, but our PD, those who are in power, I mean, just think about it. There was an illegal drug ring that was being ran right across the street from the mayor's house. And he's up every day, just going on, hey guys, how you doing? He's probably waving to them, stuff like that. And it's just the mayor, while they're making transactions right across the street from his house. He has another neighbor on the same block, the next block over, that's been calling about the illegal parties. I'm calling PD about putting a sting operation together for illegal basement parties that Councilman Mendez is consistently being photographed at in people's basements at 3 or 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, where liquor is being sold and, you know, things of that nature. So again, everything goes in Paterson. But let me get on the main topic. The main event is, first of all, do me a favor. Stop coming to the podium talking about the black people don't support each other, black people the only ones fighting, black people the only ones black on black crime. It's crime being committed here every single day, Dominican on Dominican, when Mr. Alex Mendez cuts Mr. Eddie Olivares' mic off and lets Mr. Durham just ramble on, and he's so intimidated by him. He said, "You cut my mic off?" No, so sorry. No, please, no. He let him go on for an additional several minutes. He's so afraid of Elvis, but the Dominican on Dominican crime that's taking place every single night. And to say that black people don't support each other, well, that's another fallacy, a myth, because we came out and did what we needed to do to the candidate who did not get the support, who should have gotten the support, who is the most qualified, the most anticipated, the most biggest change agent that we could possibly have on a state seat, wasn't supported by the party that he's supported faithfully for how many years. And I told him years ago when he was seeking another seat, man, run a primary. So I've been saying it for how long? 10, 15 years. People listening now. We put our strength together, and look what happens. And for all of you, those few who come and continue to say, "Oh, we don't support each other," those of you with so little faith, had you had more faith, we would have had the most qualified candidate selected as the governor nominee as well. Because you were just thinking that we can't get it done, that measure of doubt the size of a mustard seed, right? They say we should have a faith the size of a mustard seed, but that measure of doubt, because he displayed as being the best candidate in all the debates, the most credentialed, the person who is proven to have been a change agent, and yet we leave the with poor results. So, congratulations to everybody who supported the brother Kenyatta Stewart, and we want to make sure we continue that trend and making sure that those who fail to hear our concerns understand you can line up with whoever you want to line up with. You can have as much money as you want to have. Money don't win elections. People do. And no matter how many times I had to go to a voting poll because they turned away somebody saying, "Oh, you got a police record? You have a criminal record?" No. We could still vote despite those fictitious charges that was placed on us, those built up charges that continue to be placed on members of our community. No, you can still vote, regardless of what. Do not let them turn you away. And then we'll see the results that we've seen. The highest vote getting by almost double the margin. This is what we're talking about, because people understand everybody in our community isn't as stupid as you think they are. They're watching. They're watching you put yourself on the poorest display throughout the entire community. I'm not the only one saying it anymore. Guess what? I want to, send a huge shout out to those who are responsible for the Jackson effect, because Councilman Jackson has everybody watching and people are seeing, they're paying attention, and guess what? They're not staying home, not voting anymore. So hats off. Let's continue to take our community back, because this place has become a place that's unrecognizable, that's more recognizable with the third world country. And yes, I said that too, when that's so insulting to have been said, when we still sit here and allow for the law to continuously be broken, when just because you're a councilman, your wife can get a job, when the civil service requirement says clearly what it requires. Mr. BA, we're going to have to get your attention on this matter. I know you weren't here when I addressed it to begin with, but according to civil service guidelines, and you are the hiring authority, therefore you are the firing authority as well. You are required to be able to be fluently spoken, written, and understood in the English language before you can get a job, let alone get a $10,000 pay increase. So, also, Mr. BA, urinating in public is an offense, punishable by the law, and you as a signing authority and corporation counsel as the city attorney, just because it happened in the past, it was caught on video, and if there's a crime that was committed that was caught on video, like if you pull the fire alarm and try to say it wasn't it wasn't you, those things are crimes that are punishable by the law. There's no statute of limitations that are on those particular crimes, especially when you hold the position of authority. So, great job to everyone who got out and voted, the entire team, Team Kenyatta. We don't need to merge. Listen, they're now going to be expecting his momentum to pull them up. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. We need to continue on the trend that we're going, waking people up and letting them know what's to come. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Kalik.
My vote is yes to close the public portion, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Mims.
So as I do every week, I just want to say thank you to the public that has come in person and those that are viewing, especially my mom. Thank you for watching the meetings every week. I just want to say thank you for that. So there's many concerns that were brought to the microphone, and so to our BA Corporation Council, for those that need to be followed up on. I made the request, and I see we have still not taken notice, but when someone comes to the mic and have an issue, the following week there should be a copy of what the question that was asked and whatever the response was. But prior to the following week, I reach out to the individuals that came to the mic. A lot of people are complaining that they come, speak, and nothing gets resolved. So I want to make sure that there is a process in place for that. We have so many things that are going on in our community. This Saturday is the African American Parade Breakfast at 9 o'clock. Big congratulations to all of the honorees, including myself, on this Saturday morning at 9. Thank you so much to Ada Pugh and her wonderful committee on this Saturday. To the Silver Fox opening of the ice cream shop on tomorrow. I'm not going to be present because I am hosting with some of our partners an eighth grade luncheon for our graduating class, and so my legislative aide Nancy Greer will represent me tomorrow at the grand opening at 1 o'clock tomorrow. And I know they're watching. I just had them watch. I won't be there, but please make sure have Nancy Greer speak on my behalf at the grand opening on tomorrow. In addition to that, the following Saturday, as Elvis has already mentioned, the parade, I want to give a great shout out to Ada Pugh and her wonderful committee and all those that are involved. So many people are going to be participating. Big shout out to my babysitter, one of my mentors, Councilwoman Vera Ames, for the great work that she has done with all of the floats and all of those things that are going to happen on next Saturday. It is not just for the African American community. We're asking everyone to come and walk alongside. I already know Corporation Council is coming, so Mark and others, please, our BA, please come out and walk alongside of us. I'll be walking and floating, so I'll be trying to do two at the same time. But please come out and support all of these great initiatives that are happening in the community. And I text G. Greer. I'll talk to our community policing department, not just in our police, Paterson Police, but also our Sheriff's Department, to see if there's something that can be done. We have a lot of parks in the community, so I don't know if we could possibly pilot some of the more frequented parks and see how that works out. And possibly, I don't know if there'll be a concern based on the number of police that are on schedule during a certain period of time. So I don't want to take away from that because, you know, people are complaining about response times currently, and I don't want people to say, well, you wanted me in the park, and then there's an incident going on. So we want to make sure that, you know, we look at, you know, the times and stuff like that, or maybe there's another idea that can happen to help offset some of those things. To our community at large, I want to say, as our school is coming to a close, we have our 8th grade and high school's graduations that are coming up, their proms, some have passed, some are coming. I want to say to all of our parents, you've done a great job, keep up the great work. Let's continue to build our children, grow them, develop them together. As an educator in our Paterson Public Schools every day, for me, as I see the 8th graders practicing for their graduation, I'm crying because I know they're not going to be in our building anymore. And as one of our PTO leaders is here, she sees my hugs and my high fives and those words every day. So it's kind of bittersweet. We want them to move on into high school and go further, but it's kind of bittersweet when you've seen and you've been around these students forever. Just some words of encouragement to our parents. Hug them, encourage them, give them a word of wisdom, a word of advice every single day, because you never know what a child is going through. Doesn't matter what the situation or the circumstance. I want to say, as I already text everyone, congratulatory messages. I've posted on social media as well. I want to say congratulations to Mikey Sherrill, who is the Democratic governor nominee. I want to congratulate Senator Benji Wimberly. I also want to congratulate Assembly Democratic nominee candidates, Assemblyman Abdelaziz, who has officially, they've announced it as we were sitting here tonight, and to Kenyatta Stewart, to our commissioner nominees, Christina Stratz and Mike Remiglia. There is a lot of work to take place from now until November, and we know that even if we did not support, that is our role to go and say, I am on board. Let's get it together, because in November we're not running against each other. We will be running against Donald Trump. And so we have to come together, because we have to make sure that we don't leave anything unturned. I don't know about you, but I don't want Medicare cut and Social Security cut for any of our elders. I don't want any of our benefits in our educational system cut. So we need to make sure all of the candidates that have been elected and they're our nominees, that we support all these candidates, because if we lose any candidate, we lose, and we cannot afford to lose at this juncture. With that being stated, Madam Clerk, I know it's public portion, and I know we're about to go home, but I also want to say great job on tonight. All of the city business was done at 7:45 on tonight. So I want to commend that the city business was already taken care of by 7:45. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Omar.
Before I vote, I just want to commend all the young children that came in here and presented to us. They did a phenomenal job, and we are listening. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Councilman Uden.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Good evening, Paterson, one more time. Before I close, as Paterson have seen that numbers of our young children from our school system shared their experience and how they're getting the vaping products in their hands. And I believe that with today's presentation that we can make this ordinance faster, that how can we limit getting vaping products in our children's hand, at the same time the growing numbers of the smoke shops in our city. So we need to work together. We are not just fighting on the same topic multiple times. One thing I'd like to restate, that when last year we presented this idea here at the chamber, right after this, Corporation Council drafted, and the draft is definitely ready to go, and I want the committee to take immediate action and like to see this come into the next next meeting as well. So with that hope, I'd like to see Paterson is moving forward. Again, election took place last Tuesday. As a proud Democrat, we had to pick our own candidates. However, November is general election is a party election, so we'd like to see all our candidates whether we support someone or not, we want to see all our candidates winning and winning big. With that expectation, Paterson, have a wonderful evening. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Councilman Newton. Councilman Velez.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I see we're going to be breaking a record today. The meeting is going to be ending soon. Great job, Council President, for putting this agenda in a speedy moment. You know, listen to the concern of Mr. G. Greer. Mr. B.A., we passed an ordinance with the help of this council. We all together, and I'm going to say me, myself, all of us, about speed hump or speed bump, okay? And it's an ordinance. Ordinance had to be enforced, right? So I'm looking at some road resurface that we are moving to put at the regular meeting next week. So for example, I have 15th Avenue from East 22 all the way down to East 28 to be resurfaced. There's not one single stop sign from East 22 all the way down to East 28. This street qualifies for speed humps because when they did 14th Avenue, they overlook the ordinance. If the road and the street is meted to do it, let's do it in one shot. Don't come back and try to put speed hump. For example, finally, the new ward, 510, belongs to the 5th Ward. Before it was 1st Ward, nothing was getting done there. Passaic Avenue is going to get resurfaced. Parents from that school number 2 and seniors that live in front of it are requesting speed humps because people are cutting traffic through there to go to Route 19. So this road also should be looking into it to put a speed hump in the middle at that street, Passaic Avenue. So if they look, if the engineering department look into those streets, especially those streets that have been Chamberlain Avenue to Union Avenue at Cooperland Avenue, look into that. Council, the 2nd Ward is always requesting the paving of that street. Now is an opportunity to see if merit speed humps. So not go back again and waste money on it. And if the study says we could put a speed hump at the same time. So look into the list and go into it. And the councilman had requested before a speed hump with signatures that we put on a DPW. Still, something happens there. We got proof that we put it to the administration and did nothing on it. So, and we don't want to be liable on it, right? So that's one thing that we should look into it. About the speed humps. Thank you, Mr. Durham, for always bringing those announcements that is well noticed in the city of Paterson. The parade, I always say, no matter it's big or small, we always participate. So we invite other communities to come and participate the same way that they participate in other parades. And this parade deserves that we, all of us, be participating there. We always do. Last but not least, let's congratulate all the individuals that ran this primary. This was a competitive primary, right, Councilwoman? Everyone was qualified to run this election. Now, the people spoke. Some people say on this side that one community may happen that candidate won. No, I know my ward. My ward is the most diverse ward in the city of Paterson. So if you know your district, you know where the Dominican live, the Puerto Rican, the Bangladesh in my ward, the black community, you know. So I know about the numbers. This ticket, no matter what, Cañada Stewart or Adelaziz or Cruz from the Democratic Party was supported by a diverse community. So congratulations to them. Now, we all agree that if we go to represent the Democratic Party, we should be united to work. Because that's why they call it primary. It's a competition between us. So now that we have to come together, because you know what's going on in California. If you haven't watched those news, watch it. You know what's going on in New York. And we're not too far that this is going to happen in Paterson. Now, people say that the Democratic Party had ruined our city, so I invite you to then vote Republican. But I understand that this is a Democratic blue city, and we're going to support our candidates. And our candidates are going to get together. We're going to work with them, because that's the message we're sending. Be united at the end of the road for the benefit of the city of Paterson. And let me say last but not least, and I'm going to give this to the people out there. You know what? Sometimes this council is not united. The other day I was meditating why. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason this council is not united, you know why? Because the second floor don't like to see us united. Good night. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Council President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So, Council Cali, thank you so very much for allowing me and all of us to finish the agenda early. We just finished our city business. And let me thank the community for just being here at the council and express their concern. Also, to the VA, just pay attention about Councilwoman Mims' request. I want to make sure that when people come here for complaining about issues that are affecting our community, for example, the lady that came with the tree that fell down, just take note and make sure that our director take action immediately about those issues. If they come in, we have to make sure we got to listen to them. And also to the rest of the community. Councilman Dean, great presentation. Thank you for allowing our children from Paterson Public School to do a nice presentation. And let me take this quick moment to congratulate all our students. It's almost the end of the school year. We have so many great students with great achievement. I want to say congratulations to all of you. You are the future. You guys are the future of this nation. We must continue supporting our youth in the city of Paterson and putting legislation in place that help this community. Also, Brother G, I want to thank you for your comment about signage around the city. That's a big problem, not only in our park, but we have a lot of streets in the city that have no signs. Mr. VA, make sure our DPW director get note on this, so we need action on this. We have a lot of parks that they need, like no dog signs, street signs that are missing, so we got to stay on top of that. And also we definitely renew a contract for a company to help us with those trees that are around the city of Paterson, and nothing has been done on that note also as well. To my third ward resident, I've been getting a lot of calls about East 84 and East 35th. We already approved the resurfacing of East 84 and East 35th. Very soon, we're going to break ground. You're going to see the equipment starting the work to resurfacing East 84 and East 35th. That hasn't been done in years. I understand that. There's a lot of potholes, but it's already done. And the Little Larry Dobie, it's going to be soon. We're going to break ground to the renovation of the Little Larry Dobie also as well. So take note. And a speed bump, that was a legislation, Councilman, that I introduced a legislation with your support. We passed it. Now it's administration responsibility to get the job done. If you go to Union City, the lighting in Union City, it's beautiful. You could be there at 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's beautiful. The lighting and the speed bump in every street, it's amazing. So we got to get that done. We have a lot of problems. People are speeding. People are flying in the street in the city of Paterson. Please slow down in the city. We're going to have now soon, our kids are going to be at the park, enjoying the summer camp, summer program. Please, if you're driving around the city of Paterson, all residential areas 25 miles per hour. We see people driving 50, 60 miles per hour with no regret in the city of Paterson. We need our police department to enforce the speeding limit in the city of Paterson. Please. Last but not least, congratulations to all the elected officials that got, elected on this primary. Kenyatta Stewart, he went big. He lost some weight. You know, he could go back to the gym now. Looking forward to see Kenyatta LA Fitness. Let's see how much you're gonna lift. You know, so congratulations, big brother. You did a phenomenal job. Also, congratulations to my former Councilman Abdelaziz, who is our assemblyman, got elected on the primary. Our great senator, the big boss Benji Wimberly. Congratulations, phenomenal job. Also the freeholder, the commissioner, Christina, and Myra Maglia also as well, even that they didn't have any opponent, but they did a phenomenal job on the election. Orlando Cruz did a great job. Unfortunately, he didn't make it, but he also did a phenomenal job. They run a clean campaign, and that's what matters. And also Mikey Sherrod was elected as a candidate for governor. So the best of luck in November. That's the big fight that is coming around. Let's continue praying for the city of Paterson. And to my third ward, thank you to all the registered voters in the third ward. They came out big. They don't stay home in the third ward. We vote. So I want to say thank you to my third ward resident. And with that being said, Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Council President. The votes are 7 in favor, 2 absent. The public portion is now closed.
Move to close.
Second.
Move to close by Councilman Velez and second by Councilman Mims. Roll call, Madam Clerk, to close our workshop section of this night.
Roll call to close the workshop session of June 12, 2025. Councilman Jackson.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So just a few things before we close. I don't want to labor this. Mr. BA, I've asked already, I have not received, and if you've sent it, I apologize. My overworked secretary is hospitalized right now, so I wanted to send a special message of gratitude to Miss Sophia Alexander. She's not doing well, but I asked for reports from the stadium that we talked about, as well as the reports from the PRC, the financial reports. We just recently are elected to move another several $1 million from the PRC fund. I also want to know how the management situation of the PRC through economic development. We need to have some type of I need to have some clarity on this. I know everyone else is just moving to electing to just move forward past things, but those are 2 critical items. I also need to get the entire budget, not just a snapshot. I need to have the entire budget sent to me with every single line item, all the payees, all of the salaries, every department, and I do not want a hard copy. I want it sent to me electronically, so we don't have to waste paper. You know, I'll just say this. You know, it's extremely disappointing, and you know, Council President, you sit here and you want to, you know, spotlight certain things that are like customary. We already know, I mean, we spent millions and millions of dollars, we wasting the taxpayers' dollars. Roads are going to get paved. Roads get paved every single day. We're celebrating that while we bring up now, after 2 years you've been sitting as the president, when the residents' concerns are never being answered. The former BA left here and never answered to anyone's concerns, and all of a sudden now, Councilwoman Mims comes up with the fantastic idea, yeah, Mr. BA, you guys have all been sitting here for the last 8 years as mayor is the mayor, and not only have we diverted, because as I continue to point out, in the past, the people who came to the podium, their concerns were answered the night of. And if we made sure if there was an additional point of clarity, but no, as you guys have derailed the former process and now silenced everyone where we can't answer to the public's concerns, now a woman has a tree that fell on her house, and you know, we've had many different infractions that have taken place. And all of a sudden now, it's such a fantastic idea. Yeah, Mr. BA, no worries. That's just talk for the night. They're not even going to be concerned about the real concerns of the community. But I definitely need those reports. I want to, you know, what we should have been more concerned about is actually the not passing of the budget, and maybe have a presentation, Council President, and all of you other council members on the suggested items to have been removed. I made a motion to have some items removed, which was not supported, and I don't see anything else that's being presented by any of you. So we're just going to wait until the final hour and just go ahead and approve it. So, Mr. Beard, you're more than welcome to leave. The door's not locked. Nobody's trapped here. No one's locked in here. You can leave as you see fit. In fact, I'm going to get up and leave right after this, so I don't have to hear none of the other rhetoric. But anyway, can I please have those reports that I've been asking for when you get a moment, and we can have a conversation before the weekend or early next week to figure that out. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Kalik.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Councilwoman Mims, for that great idea that you brought back to the council chambers. Also, I want to congratulate you on becoming the Grand Marshal of the Juneteenth Parade celebration.
Thank you, Councilman.
Correct?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
I want to congratulate all the winners of the primary election. Let's get behind them in November.
Yes.
People have spoken in the primary, and let's beat the Republican in November. I want to thank everyone. Thank you, Council President, for running an efficient meeting tonight.
With my help.
And you know why. My vote is yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Mims.
So, as we go to close, I just want to say thank you, Councilman Kalik. I am the female Grand Marshal of this year's African American Parade, and our very own DPW Supervisor, Mike Jackson, is the male Grand Marshal. So I want to thank the committee that unanimously selected us for this great honor. I plan to represent well at the breakfast this Saturday, and next week I might wear my Kamala sneakers in honor of her run and her stance that she took. But I just want to say, you know, when I sit here, I don't mention any other council person's name, and I think it was perfectly stated. I'm not sure who stated it. I believe Zakia might have said it, but we talked about how we got to unify and come together and be on one accord. And for me, this is not my first time mentioning having the information available for answers to the public. I've been saying it forever. I've never been I haven't been in the role to say this is what needs to be done as far as some of the other things. But Paterson, I will say this and continue to say it. The only way that we're going to get better is if we're together. The only way that we're going to grow is that we stay united. Paterson has a lot of issues, a lot of concerns. We all agree. We have to be able to come up with solutions, and I am looking forward to any person in the community that has any solutions or ideas to help us move forward. I'm excited about that. With that being stated, I am praying for Madam Clerk Murray. I'm praying for our Secretary Sophia, all those people that I know to call and don't know to call, to my niece Nicole, as we laid her to rest today. Please keep the family in your prayers, and so many other families that have lost loved ones. To our Madam Clerk that's sitting in for the clerk, Madam Riley, to our Secretary Deidre, to Diana, to Corporation Counsel, to our BA, to our police officers, to Raphael, to my council colleagues. Thank you for taking the time in the service to sacrifice to make sure that the work of the city gets done. Just in closing, BA, lower part of Governor Street, I have been fighting for this for a long time. They have paved the 4th ward of Governor Street, but they left the 1st ward out. So they said there was they have to find a creative way because it's a sewer issue. I saw them go and do some filling, but the filling is already lifted. So we have to find some immediate dollars, possibly in where the lateral repair money is, that we can use some of those dollars to get the lower part of Governor Street. And North Main also has where you can see the railroad track lifting up out of the cement. So in those 2 particular areas of the 1st ward, lower part of Governor and North Main, let's look into the emergency sewer lateral repair funds and pull dollars from there, and let's see that on the agenda for July 1st. I'm just making that request that we could get that on the agenda. Thank you so much, everyone. Good night. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Omar.
I just want to congratulate Councilwoman Mims again. Congratulations. And also our Deputy Director of Public Works, Mike G. Jackson. Congratulations. Good night, Paterson. My vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Newton?
My vote is yes, Madam Clerk. Good night, Paterson.
Thank you. Councilman Velez?
Congratulations, Councilwoman. Do you want to say congratulations to her? Okay.
Missed that.
Yeah.
So on the parade, my council colleague, Councilwoman Dr. Lily Mims, was selected as a Grand Marshal, and I'm so glad, and I like to walk along with her and other individuals from the city of Paterson, and looking forward to it. Councilman, great job, and we commend you for everything you do. Yes, and my fellow educator in the Paterson Public Schools. Yes, and she was a, what else I should say? You know, I'm repeating. My vote still yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Velez?
That's okay. They confuse me out there too. They call me Luis Mendez, right? So Councilwoman Mintz, we celebrate the appointment of being chosen to represent the parade. But I'm going to go a little bit more deeper. From way before sitting in the chair, you were selected from the womb of your mother to serve a community, to preach, to heal. Forget what the devil said. God put you here, you staying here. I celebrate that more than a parade, because a parade could be over, but your leadership could last a lot. And to Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson, DPW, thank you for always being there for your employees in DPW and for us and our request. Great job and congratulations. Let's keep on praying for Madam Clerk. I'm decided to see her back soon. So if you're home, come back home. Come here, right? You're home. Thank you to the Secretary, and let's keep on prayer to Sophia, that we have learned now that she, without violating HIPAA law, you know, it was disclosed by my colleague. We pray for her. With the BA, you just started not even a month ago, I believe so, right?
Oh, okay. I didn't know what you were doing.
Oh, Nancy Greer.
That's my sister Nancy.
I know, it's your aide. Listen, I want to commend those aides that really works to improve us. Because we got aides that you don't see them here, but they working out there with the community.
That's right.
And they put in their work. We should raise their salary, but the real ones, the one that really work out there.
That's
all right? I would invite the whole entire community. This next Saturday is Flag Day. The 14th is Flag Day. And we are changing all the flags at the Pan American Park. As everybody knows, it's 28 flags, but only 26 represent the Pan American. But we included the Afro-American flag because we are one community. So all you are invited at 12 noon, East 27, Market Street, between East 27 and 26. Saying that, God bless you all, stay safe, and let's put our work, like Councilman Khalid always say, to prove. Thank you, Councilman Khalid. My vote is yes to close this meeting.
Thank you, Councilman. Council President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I definitely will be brief. Once again, thank you, Council Cali. It's 9:27. We finished our agenda, and great things happen when we disagree with a level of respect. We have a good discussion about some of the items on the agenda. There was no disrespect from one council member to another one, and I want the community to just take a look at that. But now I would like to encourage some of my council colleagues, at least one, to please double check his package, because he didn't even notice that on this agenda we have a temporary appropriation, an emergency appropriation of $54,527,765 to conduct city business from June through July, to the end of July. And the reason why we have this is because we voted against the 5.6 tax increase on the introduced budget. We did the work, we voted against, and now we have a temporary appropriation until we get the information from the state on how much money we're going to get from transitional aid, and then we'll be able to adjust the budget and protect our taxpayer with a huge tax increase. That's what good government is supposed to do. And I want to say once again, thank you to all my council colleagues. Thanks to the community for just being here at this great meeting. Great job, council member. This weekend, it's my birthday. Saturday's my birthday. I was born June 14. I was born on flat day. It's my birthday on Saturday. So I will be around the city of Paterson. I'll have some get-together, but I will be around the city of Paterson. And don't forget, Paterson, I don't get upset when people attack me with when they try to discredit and damage my character. I don't get affected by that. Yes. It doesn't affect me because I know who I am. I'm a very decent resident of this community with a lot of respect for everybody. I respect and I love everybody, and I work with every community here in the city of Paterson, and I've been proving this over and over. I have an open door policy for every person that arrive at the city council, city hall, or out there, and everybody knows that if you invite me, if you have a function, I will stop by. I'm a very humble person. I will stop by. I will congratulate you. I will greet you, and I will keep moving. That's what I do, so I don't get offended. I don't get upset because I know who I am. And it's easy to try to destroy others, but it's hard to build. Because in order for you to build, you have to come together. You have to work with other people. You have to put projects on the table and work to get things done and to build. It's easy to destroy, and some people, they choose to destroy instead of building. God bless you, Paterson. And my vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
I want to reconsider my vote for a minute.
Madam Clerk, before we close, I forgot to announce this Saturday, after the breakfast for the African American Parade Committee at 9, there is a Greek festival for all of our fraternities and sororities that will be located in Eastside Park starting at 12 o'clock at Eastside Park. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
And also, Council President, just to
you can make a comment before she read the vote. So go ahead.
No, because then you could close it. It's a comment. There's a colleague that says to identify in the line items what we could have cut. We want to announce to the community that Councilman Mendez and I have a meeting with the CFO to sit down and look for those cuts.
Correct.
In our recommendation.
Correct. Good night, Paterson. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. The votes are 7 in favor, 2 absent. Happy Father's Day and good night, Paterson. This meeting is adjourned. June 12, 2025. The workshop session is closed.
9:30, Councilman. Wow. Lovely.